change. Keep it tuned to City, your number one. Don't look no further. We've got it all covered. City FM.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Good morning to life.
Good morning.
Music, talk, inspiration, in perspective.
Express yourself. Good morning, my neighbor.
City FM, your station.
It's a refreshing lifestyle.
City FM 97.3.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is City 97.3.
Many Mike Aje Oyi Botai A Yehovah Le Ngo Omumo Le Walen O Hanyongo Kejewen Ejake Minye Mashe Bonisa O Nyam Somole Tui Abe Abo Ikeshida
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is City 97.3.
The City Breakfast Show. The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise. This is the City Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation.
Never
Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation.
Ekeke no modamo mlile. Me fe ate mi no. Beni me blow me cha ole. Amati sese. Kayi toji mi no mo. Can I have a witness in the house? Me henye boy asafo. Afene.
Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise. This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation.
Thirty-one after 6. December 10, 2024. 97.3 City FM. Welcome to another morning. A Citi Breakfast Show. Indeed, we cry out loud and give to God the praise of our salvation. It's a powerful medley put together by Reverend PJ Markway. My favorite is this one, written by Charles Wesley in 1745. Head of thy church triumphant. This morning we joyfully adore him. His members here are singing with hearts and voice lifted up, crying out loud for the joy of our salvation. Welcome to another wonderful show that's promising to give you the very best of updates, analysis, information, interviews, and conversations with great music as well. My name is Caleb Kuda. We'll start off with what we call business sense. And this morning I want to share with you something that was written down many years ago by a Nobel Prize laureate for literature in 1907. Yeah, this morning I'm moving from 1745 to 1907. Rudyard Kipling was a writer, a poet, and everything in between. And he wrote something that I want to share with you. He says, "Land of our birth, we pledge to thee our love and toil in the years to be, when we are grown and take our place as men and women with our race. Father in heaven, who loveth all, oh, help thy children when they call, that they may build from age to age an undefiled heritage. Teach us to bear the yoke in youth with steadfastness and careful truth, that in our time thy grace may give the truth whereby the nations live. Teach us to rule ourselves always, controlled and cleanly night and day, that we may bring, if need arise, no maimed nor worthless sacrifice. Teach us to look in all our ends on thee for judge and not our friends, that we with thee may walk uncowed by fear or favor of the crowd. Teach us the strength that cannot seek by deed or thought to hurt the weak, that under thee we may possess man's strength to comfort man's distress. And this is my favorite part. Teach us delight in simple things, and mirth that has no bitter springs, forgiveness free of evil done, and love to all men neath the sun. And the best part for me is this: land of our birth, our faith, our pride, for whose dear sake our fathers died. O motherland, we pledge to thee head, heart, and hand through the years to be. Let this be your pledge. Let this be your commitment to serve this land of our birth, our faith and our pride, the land for whose dear sake our fathers died. It's called Land of Our Birth. Find it, print it, keep it close to you. Let it ring throughout your days while you serve this motherland. That was Business Sense, an inspirational start to your morning as we hope to chart a new path. My name is Caleb Kuda. Welcome to the Citi Breakfast Show. Nana Tufo Boateng is back in the studio with me. I'll bring you the newspaper review. He joins me with Nathan Crowell. A newspaper review is brought to you by Total Energies. Why wait for Christmas? Why wait for December when we bring Christmas to you early? Total Energies is kicking off the holiday spirit with our Bronya Lube special. Just swing by any of our fuel service stations, change your engine oil, and get a free elite car wash to keep your ride sparkling. Visit our website, totalenergiesga.com. On social media, find us on Facebook, Total Energies Ghana. On X is Total Energies GH. Instagram, Total Energies GH. And you need to get yourself some Piva, my friends. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangy. Man, I had some Piva this election period, and it was good. It's certainly a taste you will love. So call us on 0550-032-231. Grab yourself some Pivas and get Pivarized. I guess the newspapers are not in once again, but we'll take you online and bring you the news review. Come on, let me say good morning to Nana Tufo Boateng.
Good morning, Caleb.
Man, damn, look, please. Look, it was 9 p.m. I was on my way home, and some folks were celebrating. They choked the road. There was traffic for like 25 more minutes. And I was listening to the radio, and there you were reporting still, man. We don't retire, we don't close.
We don't give up.
We don't retire, we don't close.
We don't give up.
Duty calls at all times, and we have to deliver.
Exactly.
Wow, Tema Central. Interesting one there. Nathan Crowell, good morning to you, my brother.
Hello.
Good to see you, man.
Nice, yes. Nice
How
to see you.
are
too,
you
man.
doing?
Charlie, we're doing inside.
Yeah, it be so.
We're inside.
We're ready for the day.
Yes.
More
we're
of
here.
it, more of it,
We're
more of
here.
it. It be so.
We're here.
We're going online quickly. Let me start with you and tell us where you are. Let's enter the system.
All right, I'll start from citynewsroom.com. Of course, you'd expect that election and election-related matters will dominate the portal.
Yeah.
And so, big one here, call your supporters to order.
Right.
Baumia tells Mahama. Bagbin congratulates President-elect Mahama. Mahama Akufo-Addo to commence transition process December 11.
That's the first one.
Abu Jinapor retains Damongo seat.
No.
Will institute severe measures to reset Ghana. This is John Dramani Mahama speaking, delivering his victory speech. Yeah. Okay, Mahama, I thank God for preparing a table in the presence of my enemies. Here. We can't afford to disappoint Ghanaians.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate in modesty.
Yep.
Asiedu Nketia speaking.
Yep.
Akufo-Addo congratulates Mahama on 2024 election victory, pledges smooth transition.
Fantastic.
Patrick Boama to challenge Okaikwe Central results in court. Election 2024 was free, fair, and transparent. Jean Mensah speaking. And of course, the bigger one, Mahama wins election 2024 with over 6 million votes.
My goodness, we have the papers now, so
Yes, sir.
you will do the papers. I take you online.
Yes, the Ghanaian Times is here. Mahama secures landslide victory. Baumia concedes defeat. EC to declare Mahama president-elect. I think this
Of
was...
course, the papers
this
are
was
late to
done.
the
These
party.
are late, so Ghanaian Times were late. I don't know why Ghanaian Times late. Anyway, let's
Yeah.
move on. Chronicle is current.
Yes.
Chronicle is current.
Yes.
And it says 89 arrested over post-election violence.
89.
89.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
huge. Educhum retains seat and voter turnout 60.9% plus. Edel Metallum Resources okayed to mine in Amansie.
Okay.
All right, Daily Graphic this morning says, our best days are ahead. Mahama inspires hope in victory speech. EC declares Mahama as president-elect. AU, ECOWAS, Commonwealth, Lord Ghanaians for peaceful elections. President Akufo-Addo congratulates President-elect Mahama. And when you jump to the back page, NDC urges supporters to celebrate with decorum. And the final one from the back page says, thugs on rampage across the country. That's it for the Daily Graphic this morning.
If you go to the Searchlight News, the Daily Searchlight newspaper, election 2024. Okay, this was from yesterday. It's quite interesting how some of them are now.
They are late to the party.
Daybreak, which is today's copy, it's JM wins with over 6 million votes. Damwa secures German South seat for MPP. Free for all looting at Tepa as police look on. And Musa Superior writes, Nanado must take full responsibility for our defeat.
Oh, wow.
That's a strong one.
I know. All right, I'll take you to the Anchor newspaper. Rampaging NDC youth attack and loot properties. 30 suspects arrested
Very
as
unacceptable.
party calls for calm.
Very unacceptable.
NPP will defend members against any attack. Youth organizer cautions. EC declares Mahama president-elect with over 6.3 million votes. AU Observer Mission applauds Baumia for conceding early. Commonwealth Group condemns acts of violence. That's it for the Anchor newspaper.
Right.
Yeah, the business analyst is here, and it says Mahama is president-elect, grabs 56.55% of votes. Okay. Baumia's concession eased tensions nationwide. Akufo-Addo congratulates Mahama. NDC condemns post-election vandalism, calls for calm among supporters, and I'll hold the door open. Vice President-elect assures.
Very well, very well. Daily Guide newspaper this morning says police arrest 89 suspects. Mahama wins 2024 polls with 56.55% attributed to the EC. NPP condemns post-election violence and 2 dead at Akomadan over fertilizer looting.
Okay.
I think we can go on.
That's all. Okay, let's go to citynewsroom.com now. Earlier we brought to you Channel 1 News. Oh, you did City Newsroom?
I did City Newsroom,
Aha,
yes.
Cool. So I was trying to get our other Okay, so Channel 1
Channel 1
News. Great. So we start from channel1news.com, and heavy security presence at Tepa, Ahafo North, over vandalism by NDC supporters. Saw the videos, some of them wielding machetes and,
Quite
vandalizing.
disturbing, so
state
unwarranted.
installation. Very, very condemnable, guys. Do not do that. The police, we are encouraged to grab them. In fact, there is heavy security presence in Tepa, we understand. Now, Ebi Bride has been declared winner of Tema Central Parliamentary election. Ghanaians have little tolerance. Thank you for bad governance. This is Mahama. Akufo-Addo congratulates Mahama, invites him to Jubilee House. Don't vent your anger on state installations. Mahama to supporters. It's official. Mahama is president-elect. And Baba Sadiq's story is here as well. If you go to my joy online, Baumia urges Mahama to call NDC supporters to order amidst protest post-election tensions. Forgive me. Akufo-Addo's governance was darkest period in Ghana's history, President-elect Mahama says. And then the full text of his victory speech is here. Abu Jinapo declared winner of Damongo parliamentary poll. He didn't allow the Green Ghana project to enter Damongo.
Not at all.
So Bagman congratulates Mahama on decisive election victory. The great elephant has been slaughtered mercilessly. This is Asiedu in Ketia jabbing it in. If you go to All Africa this morning, Ghana's ruling party concedes defeat. Mahama returns as president. Why measles? A preventable disease making a comeback. That's an article here. Rwanda's Intori traditional dance and UNESCO heritage honor. And controversy as Namibia elects first. This is old. Dozens killed a new round of protests in Mozambique. Everywhere else, Donald Trump, Syria, and Ukraine, big on the international news. There is China here. MAGA movement turns on Ernst in push for Trump's tear it down cabinet. And then also a mass animal sacrifice festival is underway in Nepal. Activists say it needs to stop. If you go to BBC, shaken by Assad's sudden fall, Syria faces seismic turning point. And then Luigi Manguini charged with murdering healthcare CEO in New York. Bosses in world's largest LGBT news site, Pink News, accused of sexual misconduct. And a lot more. If you go to Al Jazeera, Ukraine Zelensky praises Trump as leader feared by Putin. Gentlemen, we'll jump into the details here.
All right, I'll start with the daily graphic, which says our best days are ahead. Mahama inspires hope in victory speech. Story by Kester Abram Kranche. And it reads, in a triumphant address to the nation, President-elect John Dramani Mahama has emphasized his commitment to deliver good governance to the people of Ghana, promising to govern with humility and integrity. He emphasized that Ghanaians have zero tolerance for bad governance, citing his landslide victory as a testament to the people's desire for accountable leadership. Mr. Mahama's remarks came after the Electoral Commission officially declared him the winner of the 2024 presidential election with a decisive 56.55% of the votes. The president-elect arrived at his private office at Cantonment in Accra around 7:30 p.m. in the company of his wife, Lordina Mahama, and their children. Mr. Mahama was also in the company of the vice president-elect, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman. Also present at the ceremony were the national executives of the National Democratic Congress, former government appointees and members of the party, including the national chairman Johnson Asiedun Ketia, General Secretary Fifi Kwete, among others.
Staying with that, you had the vice president-elect, Professor Jenana Opoku-Agyemang, speaking, and she has reaffirmed her commitment to inclusivity and empowerment. This on page 3 of the Business Analyst. She was speaking after the party's presidential candidate John Mahama was declared winner in the just ended election. She vowed to pave the way for others to succeed in her groundbreaking role. And she says, quote, I know this is a big responsibility and I don't intend to travel the journey by myself. You are all part of it. The NDC is an inclusive party and we are demonstrating it in many ways. My job was to open the door and it does not end there. Actually, this is where the work begins. I'll hold the door open. The method of hope of opening the door, the method of holding the door open so others so others wish to travel that door is what I'm implying. It is
Right.
not a self-aggrandizing position. So
Nice one. Now,
those are some
Akufo-Addo
concerns.
congratulates Mahama, invites him to Jubilee House, channel1news.com. President Akufo-Addo has extended his what's happening to me this
Caleb.
morning? His congratulations to President-elect John Dramani Mahama following his decisive victory in Ghana's 2024 presidential election. The gesture comes shortly after the official declaration of results by the Electoral Commission chairperson, Madame Jean Mensah, on Monday, December 9, 2024. During a phone call with the President-elect, President Akufo-Addo pledged his commitment to facilitating a smooth transfer of power. On January 7, 2024, he assured Mahama of his readiness to work collaboratively to ensure a successful transition. Now, the EC has been commending its work. What's its reflections on its performance? They say one of the papers captured that.
If you go to the Chronicle, for
Yeah.
example, they decided to look at some other things
Okay.
or items or headlines from the EC boss's speech yesterday. So,
yeah.
for example, they said, or the paper is quoting Madame Jean Mensah, who said last Saturday's elections recorded a voter turnout of 60.9%, which marks a decline in civic participation compared to 68.6% turnout, which was recorded in the 2016 elections. And of course, the paper also goes on to mention certain key points, NDC coming back to power, and then they also focused a bit on the independent candidates.
The story you refer to actually is online on citynewsroom.com, which says election 2024 was free, fair, and transparent. Jean Mensah speaking.
Yeah.
Madam Jean Mensah, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, has confirmed that the December 7, 2024 general elections were conducted in a manner that was free, fair, credible, and transparent. Her statement came during the official declaration of the presidential results at the National Collation Center here in Accra. As a commission, quote, "We have fulfilled our aspiration to ensure transparency, accountability, exclusiveness, and responsiveness at the heart of all our operations, and I can confidently say that, with the help of God, we have fulfilled the aspirations and the expectations of the citizenry. We have conducted the elections that are credible, free, fair, transparent, and peaceful. Elections that have ensured that the will of the people are expressed at the polls."
So let's,
end quote.
right. Let's quickly now bring you some updates in terms of some of the constituencies that had their results delay. Abuja-Napo retains Damongo seat. Stories on citynewsroom.com. Member of Parliament for Damongo, Samuel Abuja-Napo, has successfully retained his parliamentary seat in the 2024 elections. New Patriotic Party candidate and Minister of Lands, Natural Resources, won a second term in office after a hard-fought contest. He secured 16,222 votes, defeating his main challenger, Adam Mutawakilu of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, who garnered 14,424 votes. A total of 30,713 valid votes were cast, with 356 rejected ballots. This morning, I've seen a letter signed by Adam Mutawakilu, who says that there was a letter signed that binds him, but he dissociates himself from it. I'm not sure, gentlemen, if you've seen that, but we'll bring you all that update in as the day unfolds. But there are other candidates who won. We are told Okankwe Central, Patrick Boama is going to challenge that.
Yep.
And then Ebi Bright has won Temas Central. Let's bring some of the parliamentary results in
All
as
right, give you that from Okaikwe Central, captured on page 26 of the Daily Graphic newspaper.
Yeah.
Baba Sadiq wins Okaikwe Central parliamentary seat. Story by Joshua Bediako Kumsen. The National Democratic Congress NDC parliamentary candidate for Okaikwe Central constituency, Baba Sadiq Abdullahi, has been declared the elected member of parliament MP for the area after securing 15,323 votes in last Saturday's poll. Mr. Sadiq Abdullahi defeated the incumbent Member of Parliament Patrick Boama of the New Patriotic Party NPP, who garnered 14,949 votes. The election saw a total of 30,332 valid votes cast, with 130 ballots rejected. However, the declaration of results was overshadowed by irregularities surrounding 31 polling stations out of the 144 polling stations in the constituency. We do also know that the Member of Parliament for the area, Patrick Yaubuama, has declared his intention to contest the results in court. If you go to citynewsroom.com, the story is on there, which says Patrick Buama to challenge Okaikwe Central results in court. Incumbent Member of Parliament for Okaikwe Central, Patrick Buama, has announced his intention to contest the outcome of the parliamentary election in court. This comes after the Electoral Commission (EC) declared Abdullahi Abubakar Sadiq of the National Democratic Congress (NDC) as the winner of the fiercely contested seat. The announcement was made on Monday, December 9, nearly 48 hours after the polls closed. Baba Sadiq secured 15,383 votes, narrowly defeating Patrick Buama, who garnered 14,949 votes. Now, addressing the media shortly after the EC's declaration, Buama expressed dissatisfaction with the results and confirmed his plans to seek legal redress.
Now, this morning, let me take you to some of the acts of vandalism. But first, NADMO Director General is not kidnapped. This is the police. The police says that it's categorically denied allegations that Nana Eric Ajiman, Prempeh, Director General of the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, has been kidnapped. Reports indicate that Mr. Prempeh, who is also the NPP's parliamentary candidate for Ahafuano North, was abducted following an incident where certain individuals reportedly stormed a local radio station owned by him and vandalized a warehouse. Additionally, one of the vehicles belonging to the NPP's parliamentary candidate for Ahafuano North was set ablaze. Now, in a statement, the police said that the police labeled these reports as false, affirming they have maintained communication with the NADMO director. So he's not been kidnapped. Claims that he's kidnapped are unfounded. However, what has happened is that the youth of Tepa have vandalized some property there, and I'm trying to retrieve that. Give me a minute. I'll just close that. Okay, so there is that point, but then the youth are also being told to channel their anger to building the country. Channel your anger into rebuilding our nation. This is Mahama to NDC members who are vandalizing property. And then, of course, we've seen that report where Dr. Baumia has called on him to rein in his supporters who have been on rampage. So these are some of the stories on the chaos and acts of hooliganism we've seen across the country. Nathan, what?
Well, just in line with that, the police is saying that they've arrested 89 persons in connection with post-election violence, including acts of vandalism, looting, and the destruction of property. This was disclosed by ACP Grace Akrofi, Director General of the Public Affairs Directorate of the Ghana Police, during a media briefing on post-election security measures yesterday.
And a number of headlines capturing that NDC hooligans in looting mood, vandalism across the country.
It's not proper.
Even the Daily Guide is reporting that 2 dead at Akumadan over fertilizer looting. I don't think this is right.
It's not proper at all. But if you look at the business side of things, graphic business is looking at post-election economy. Tough ride ahead. Economists are projecting now Ghana's President-elect John Dramani Mahama will inherit a struggling economy requiring urgent intervention when he returns to office. Some economists and market watchers have observed Mahama, who is making a comeback after previously leading the country from 2012 to 2017, faces immediate pressure to address soaring living cost and manage a critical 3 billion International Monetary Fund IMF program. The incoming administration is expected to navigate an economy burdened by inflation that, despite recent improvements, continues to strain household budgets across the country. So there is more work ahead. So like Siedun Ketia said, they should cut short the celebration, make it quick, and then get to work, because the expectations are high and they know Ghanaian voters are very unforgiving. But that would be it for the newspaper review. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Nanatu, for Boate.
Thank you, Caleb.
Come on.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Hello, everyone. I'm Hanefri, the Health and Safety Manager of Total Energies Ghana. I want to remind you of the importance of road safety, especially as the festive season draws closer. Road accidents don't just happen, they are caused. Reckless driving, overspeeding, and poor vehicle maintenance are some of the leading causes during this period. Here are a few tips to keep you safe. Always ensure your vehicle is in good condition before traveling.
It doesn't seem as though.
Well, okay, so Dr. Baumia is just about
The much awaited.
yeah.
Are you guys ready? Should I go? Is it okay? Ladies and gentlemen of the media, following yesterday's presidential and parliamentary elections, Ghanaians at home and abroad have been sitting on tenterhooks awaiting the outcome of the election. Let me say that the data from our own internal collation of the election results indicate that former President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has won the presidential election decisively. The NDC has also won the parliamentary election, even though we await final collation for a number of seats. However, I believe ultimately that these will not change the overall outcome. Of the Republic of Ghana. I said during the signing of the Peace Pact that I was sure of two things. Ghana will win and peace will reign. The people of Ghana have spoken. The people have voted for change at this time, and we respect that decision with all humility. I thank God Almighty for
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Everyday people face different emergencies, but EcoBank has come through for you with the magic emergency number. Star 770 hash is your EcoBank money emergency number. Save this number, it will come through for you when you need access to loans, funds transfer, utility bills, payment, airtime, data purchase, just name it. Star 770 hash is the magic number. EcoBank will always come to your rescue. EcoBank is the Pan-African bank leading us into the city business news. Na Shikasiza is here. Good morning, Na.
Good morning, Caleb. You're welcome to the business segment of the City Breakfast Show, proudly brought to you by MTN Goil and EcoBank. My name is Nashika Caesar. Coming up, energy sector players worried over handling of the Energy Sector Recovery Levy (ESLA), which resulted in over $2 billion debt. Also coming up, Tap Send resumes operations in Ghana after a 1-month suspension by the Bank of Ghana. And later, Bank of Ghana's gold coin drops in price on December 9, 2024. We settle for the details of our stories now. The Institute for Energy Security's IES has raised concerns over the handling of the Energy Sector Recovery Levy (ESLA), stating that its collateralization has left the energy sector burdened with over $2 billion in debt over the past 8 years. We have more in the following report.
The IES questions the accountability and justification for the levy's collateralization, given its ability to generate approximately $650 million annually to offset legacy debt and stabilize the sector. In a statement, the IES disclosed that Ghana's installed power generation capacity stood at 4,599 megawatts in December 2016, with 4,127 megawatts being dependable and serving a peak demand of 2,078 megawatts. By the end of 2023, IES asserts that generation capacity increased to 5,639 megawatts, while peak demand rose to 3,618 megawatts. Despite this growth, the IES pointed out that the sector continues to face persistent power shortages and inefficiencies in capacity utilization and planning. The Institute described the challenges as a significant missed opportunity, attributing the sector's struggles to mismanagement and poor leadership over the last 8 years, even as the sector inherited ample resources and potential. The IES is thus urging the government to act swiftly to address these challenges and prioritize the delivery of dependable, affordable and sustainable energy to meet the needs of citizens and businesses alike.
That was a business desk report filed by Emmanuel Opong. Now, TapTapSend, a leading money transfer company, has announced the resumption of its operations in Ghana after a brief break. Users can once again send money from the UK, Europe, Canada, and the United States and the United Arab Emirates to their loved ones in Ghana. The temporary pause in services followed a directive from the Bank of Ghana, which had suspended TapTapSend's partnerships with local banks and fintech companies for 1 month. The suspension was specifically related to TapTapSend's newly launched wallet product. However, the Bank of Ghana has lifted a suspension on December 4, 2024, ahead of the originally anticipated deadline, allowing the company to resume its much-needed service to the Ghanaian diaspora. The company's regulatory status remains intact, and it is committed to adhering to all relevant regulations moving forward. Here's the head of Africa TapTapSend, Daryl Mauto Abraham, speaking to City News.
Obviously, we are incredibly grateful that the Bank of Ghana met with us, engaged with us, TapTapSend, and allowed us to resume our services to Ghana before the busiest time of the year. So remittances, the last quarter of the year, and especially in December, Christmas time, is a time that people send the most money. So this inconvenience of not being able to send money to Ghana for the last 3 weeks has hit customers really hard. We are really, really grateful that we are back and we are able to serve our customers who want to send money. So now is the time to send money. TapTapSend is back. We are bigger, we are stronger, we are better, and we hope to serve our Ghanaian customers and to bring more money into the country. Remittance makes up more than 6% of Ghana's GDP. TapTapSend, we are doing all the best we can to help bring more dollars and more foreign exchange into the country. And we are grateful that the Bank of Ghana has given us the permission to resume our services to allow us to do this.
That was the head of Africa TapTapSend, Daryl Mauto Abraham, speaking there. Now, the Bank of Ghana's gold coin, available in 3 variants, a 1 ounce coin, a half ounce coin, and a quarter ounce coin, have witnessed a price drop on December 9, 2024. The coins are priced at 41,001 Ghana cedis, 20,905 Ghana cedis, and 10,887 Ghana cedis, respectively. This reflects a decline from the November 26 rate. There's more in the following report.
The downward adjustment in prices stems from the Ghana cedi's recent appreciation against the US dollar. The cedi's performance is largely attributed to the successful conclusion of Ghana's third IMF program review, which unlocked 360 million tranche from the fund to the government. According to the Bank of Ghana, The local currency has recorded significant gains against major international currencies such as the dollar, pound and euro between late October and November. The cedi appreciated by 6% against the dollar, 7.6% against the pound and 9.1% against the euro during the period. The pricing of the gold coin is determined based on the previous day's London Bullion Markets Association PM gold price of $2,608, converted using Bloomberg's US dollar to Ghana cedis exchange rate. This initiative forms part of the central bank's domestic gold purchase program aimed at reducing market liquidity and stabilizing the cedi amidst ongoing economic challenges. By tying the Ghana gold coin to the nation's gold reserves, the Bank of Ghana seeks to reinforce investor trust and cushion the local currency against the unpredictability of gold markets.
Emmanuel upon with that Citi Business Desk report. Moving on, China remains the leading source of imports, contributing to 17.0 billion Ghana cedis, which accounts for 24% of total imports. This is according to data from the third quarter trade report 2024 by the Ghana Statistical Service. The report revealed that the United Kingdom ranked second with imports worth 5.8 billion Ghana cedis, representing 8.2% of the total. The United Arab Emirates followed with 5.2 billion Ghana cedis in imports, accounting for 7.5%. India came next with 4.2 billion Ghana cedis, representing 5.9%, and the Netherlands rounded out the top five with 3.5 billion Ghana cedis, making up 5.0%. Meanwhile, industry players have called for efforts to reduce the current inflation rate, which stands at 23%, to address broader economic challenges. Away from that, stakeholders in the business community are already outlining the expectations for the incoming administration following the 2024 general elections, calling for urgent measures to address cedi depreciation and implement tax reforms. This morning, the following report by Daniel Sakiti.
A major concern for the business community has been the issue of the performance of the cedi against major international trading currencies. A stable forex environment is seen as critical to reducing inflation pressures and restoring confidence in the economy. President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obin, in addition to urging the new administration to simplify the country's tax regime, wants immediate measures to stabilize the foreign exchange market.
All that business requires now is the stability of the local currency and how it will be sustained. So we need to stabilize the local currency and then sustain it to have good economic indicators that will provide the necessary working environment for us. That's all that we need at this point in time. It's all about simplifying the tax system and making taxes affordable. That's all that we need.
Meanwhile, finance lecturer Professor Lord Mensah has called on the incoming government to demonstrate commitment to fiscal discipline to sustain the macroeconomic gains achieved so far. Speaking in a post-election analysis with Citi Business News, Professor Mensah emphasized the need for continuity in economic reforms to stabilize Ghana's economy and build investor confidence.
The expectations shouldn't be immediate. I mean, we should look at one way or the other, possibly going with the IMF program, which, the momentum has already been set. And then sitting the IMF program, how we can continue to be financially disciplined publicly. And that should be able to help us. So even if prices are not going to go down and then it becomes stable over time, it helps in planning.
That was finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Lord Mensah, and in that report by Citi Business News' Daniel Sakiti. Now on the forex market today, the dollar is trading at 16 cedis 20 pesos. The British pound is going for 20 cedis 90 pesos, and the euro at 18 cedis. Please note that these are the rates being offered by forex bureaus to the public. And that's it for the business segment of the Citi Breakfast Show, proudly brought to you by MTN Goil and EcoBank. My name is Nashika Caesar. To have a great business day.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Since the close of polls on Saturday, the 7th of December 2024. The voters of Ghana have spoken. They have expressed their choice at the polls, and that choice will today be upheld by the Electoral Commission of Ghana. As a commission, we have fulfilled our vowed aspiration to imbibe transparency, accountability, inclusiveness, and responsiveness at the heart of all our operations. And I can confidently say that with the help of God, we have fulfilled these aspirations and the expectations of the citizenry. We have conducted elections that are credible.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
L to the A to the L to the A. Normally I be good person. What happen? Big question. I've been on my obsession. Normally
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is City 97.3.
Yeah. We used to vibe, you my only one. Now you they juggle me up and down. Tell me waiting they happen now. We used to vibe, you my only one. Now you they juggle me up and down. Tell me waiting they.
It's 13 after 7. Getting into kickoff shortly, which is our sports segment of the Citi Breakfast Show. Gabby Affair is already in the house with his tired eyes but full of energy. Kickoff is brought to you by Zonda Ghana Limited. It's your one-stop shop for quality trucks like Shantui bulldozers, excavators, graders, payloaders, rollers, power pickups, TX trucks, and oil tanks, all made and assembled right here in Ghana. At Zonda Ghana Limited, there is opportunity. They provide top-notch after-sales services for all your heavy and light-duty trucks and machinery needs. So visit us today at any of our 7 branches around the country. Our head office is off the Tema Plow Road, close to the Free Zones Enclave in Tema. Call us now 050-177-2222, 050-177-3333. Zonda, built in Ghana, building Ghana. When it comes to Polytank, it's the first, the best, and certainly the original, leading in water storage right here in Ghana. So go for guaranteed quality. Choose Polytank. Polytank near Papa Nuni. Polytank is proud to be associated with Kickoff, and they caution you that they do not request for Momo payments online, and their poor may have swerved you many times in the past. But you see, what I'm about to tell you, don't let it swerve you ever. Every Thursday and Friday from November 21st to December 13th this year, of course, you can enjoy a 10% discount on all lubricants at the Shell Airport branch. 3 simple reasons why you should get this special offer. Your car will enjoy high quality lubricants, your wallet will save some money, and 3, your car and your wallet will be happy, sir. Don't let this offer swerve you. Spark your car and drive into Airport Shell for 10% discount today. T's and C's apply. Gabby Ofe, Kickoff.
Shot was blocked. Lovely control by Kudus.
And Gabby Ofe joins us in the studio. Good morning, Gabby.
Good morning, Caleb.
How are you feeling this morning?
Oh, Charlie, I'm good.
Right.
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, Kudus was on target, assist, his first of the season for West Ham United last night.
Nice.
And then the UEFA Champions League is on later tonight.
Nice. Let's get into it.
All right, so it was the first assist for Ghana's Mohamed Kudus last night against Wolves at the London Stadium. West Ham United winning by 2-1 to ease the pressure on manager Helene Pettigrew. More reactions coming up. Plus, the UEFA Champions League match day 6 is on tonight. Many thanks to Shell V Power, Zonda GH, and Polytank Ghana, Papa Nene. My name is Gabby Ofe. All right, so let's start with Ghana's female under 17 side. That's the Black Maidens, and their head coach Joe Nana Dakwa has unveiled the final squad for the maiden edition of the WAFU Zone B under 17 Girls Cup. Now the competition is set to kick off on Thursday, December 12th at the Ghana Soccer Center of Excellence in Prom. Well, Ghana is in Group A alongside Benin and Burkina Faso, although the latter has since withdrawn from the tournament as part of the team's preparations. Jonah Dako has finalized his selection, trimming the squad to 20 players who represent the nation in the championship. Well, the Black Maidens are aiming to rebuild after facing a 2-year ban due to age falsification, which prevented the team from competing in the Under-17 World Cup. In response to the situation, Nanaku Kwajiman, the assistant coach for Ghana's Under-17 men's team, is urging the Ghana Football Association to focus on developing talent from the grassroots levels as a priority for long-term success.
We should go back to the grassroots. Look, when Belgium was facing the same problem, that was the same way they unearthed the Kevin De Bruynes and the Lukaku's and stuff. They went back to grassroots. I see that Ghana, we work from top to the bottom instead of bottom up. So our major challenge is probably not solving the problem with the grassroots. Once we sort out the grassroots, the top is going to be good, because then we'll be able to bring players through the ranks and for them to go up there and get into our Premier League and also get into our national teams. We should not be so quick to destroy the teams that we build. Transition is always very, very difficult. So if we have, let's say, the U17 players, if we have those that can move into the 20s, we should be able to, get them into the 20 and add a few more to them so that we can still have that philosophy going.
All right, Nanaku Kwajiman there in an interview with City Sports, and speaking there, the team remains, that's the Black Maidens, they remain unbeaten in 3 friendly matches against Ruth Sisters, Epiphany Warriors and Sisamba Ladies as part of a pre-tournament preparations. Away from that, now following the successful conclusion of an 18 football gala on November 16, the University of Ghana Sports and Wellness Directorate is set to launch the first ever University of Ghana Community Games Football League in February 2025. The league will feature 16 corporate teams, and teams that participated in the football gala included University of Ghana Enterprises, the Union Ghana, the College of Health Sciences, the College of Basic and Applied Sciences, the College of Humanities, the UG Central Administration, and the College of Education. While in Europe, Ghana's Mohamed Kudus recorded his first assist of the Premier League season during West Ham United's 2-1 victory over Wolves at the London Stadium. The game marked his 10th league appearance of the campaign. Kudus had missed 5 league matches due to suspension, but he delivered the assist for Jerry Bowen's decisive goal in the 72nd minute, sealing a crucial win for under-pressure manager Hileni Petigi. Here's West Ham's Edson Alvarez.
Yeah, of course, as you mentioned, it was a very difficult days for us. In the dressing room, everyone loved Mike, and we know what he can give us in the dressing room and on the pitch. So yeah, this victory, especially for him, for us, for our family, and of course for the fans.
All right, so that's West Ham's Edson Alvarez speaking there. So Kudus completed 32 out of 33 passes with 97% accuracy, registering 61 touches in the process. Well, off the pitch, Premier League official referee David Coote has been sacked by referee's body, the PGMOL, following a thorough investigation into his conduct. Now, Coote was suspended by the PGMOL on November 11, pending a full investigation after a video allegedly showing him making derogatory comments about Liverpool and the club's former manager, Jurgen Klopp, that was circulated on social media. Well, there's more football later tonight, this time into the UEFA Champions League, and 9 matches today across the various venues, match day 6. Now, 2 matches kicking off at 5:45 p.m. Dinamo Zagreb will take on Celtic, Girona up against Liverpool at the same time, and it's Girona's first ever encounter with an English club and against an informed Liverpool side who are top of the Champions League table with 12 points.
What does Girona means for me? I think that was the question. I think it's really special what they've done here. particularly last season, but even this season still. I just made the comparison. They were coming close to becoming the Leicester City of England for a few years ago. They were competing for the league title. With this budget, probably means how good of a manager Michel is. Is that the way to pronounce it? Yeah. And even this season, I think they do better than the results might look, especially in the Champions League. I've seen almost every game, and apart from the PSV game, where I wasn't the manager, they were in every game unlucky against Paris Saint-Germain. I think they were a bit lucky against my former club Feyenoord here at home.
All right, so that's Liverpool's manager, Arne Slot, speaking ahead of his side's game against Girona later tonight. Atlanta will take on Madrid at 8 p.m. as part of the 8 p.m. batch of matches. Bayer Leverkusen take on Inter Milan. That should be a good game. Yes, Xabi Alonso facing the Italian side.
And for sure, we are facing one of the best teams in Europe. It's gonna be a great challenge, but as well for us, we want to see where we are, and we are playing home. So great expectations from our side. Hopefully, we will be ready, and it's gonna be a big challenge.
Big challenge tonight. That's Bayer Leverkusen's head coach Xabi Alonso speaking there. Well, some more games tonight. Brest will take on PSV. Club Brugge up against Sporting CP. RB Leipzig will take on Aston Villa. And for Villa, they have won 3, drawn 1 and lost 1 in 5 UCL matches. Here's Unai Emery's assessment of his team in Europe so far.
We are very motivated and we are enjoying. And the day 6, and it's very important because more or less we can feel we are close to get the next round, but we had the opportunity to being in the top 8 is the match. And of course it's very difficult against one Leipzig. They were at the beginning the competition, they were contender more than us to be in top 8 or top 24, but they had a really hard schedule playing against a lot of as well very good teams. They play here against Liverpool, they lost. They play here against Juventus, they lost. They played as well against Atletico Madrid away, against Inter Milan away, against Celtic, and they don't have 1 point.
All right, so that's Aston Villa head coach Unai Emery speaking. Well, Salzburg will take on PSG. Shakhtar Donetsk is up against Bayern Munich in the UEFA Champions League matches coming up today. 9 matches on your screens, and so you can just grab one and watch them. Now, 4 Manchester City players have been named in the 5th Pro's Men's World 11 for 2024. Liverpool defender Virgil van Dijk is the 5th Premier League player in the team, which is completed by Madrid players. Argentina superstar Lionel Messi, who left PSG for Inter Miami in July 2023, is absent for the first time since 2006. And the 2024 forward line is made up of Manchester City's Erling Haaland, Madrid's Vinicius Jr. and Kylian Mbappe, who left PSG for Real in the summer. That's the very latest in the world of sport. For more, you can head to citysportsonline.com and on X at City Sports GH. We'll be back later. But kickoff was probably brought to you by Shell V Power, Zonda GH and Politangana Papa. My name is Gabi Ofen. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do take care of yourself and bye-bye.
Guys, Charlie, you know that mining contract I've been chasing for years now? I just got awarded the deal. But the issue is where to get the right and quality heavy-duty trucks to execute.
Remember my recent construction deal at Pokwase? Zonda sorted me out.
Zonda? What? Who is that?
Zonda Tech Ghana Limited is your one-stop shop for machinery.
On Saturday, the 7th of December 2024, the voters of Ghana have spoken. They have expressed their choice at the polls, and that choice will today be upheld by the Electoral Commission of Ghana. As a commission, we have fulfilled our vowed aspiration to imbibe transparency, accountability, inclusiveness, and responsiveness at the heart of all our operations. And I can confidently say that with the help of God, we have fulfilled these aspirations and the expectations of the citizenry. We have conducted elections that are credible, fair, transparent, and peaceful. Elections that have expressed elections that have ensured that the will of the people as expressed at the polls, the elections that have guaranteed that every vote counts. As a country, we take pride in the fact that our electoral processes, initiated since 1992, uphold and guarantee the voter's choice. We take pride in the fact that the voter's choice, as expressed at the polls, is sacrosanct. Ladies and gentlemen, the last 4 years have been spent in injecting and infusing 4 key elements into every aspect of our work. And those elements are transparency, accountability, responsiveness, and inclusiveness. As such, we started the year poised and ready to conduct credible elections. We were conscious that elections were an event and not a process. This resolve led us to undertake several transformational decisions, including the re-exhibiting of the Provisional Voters Register for the first time in our history, when concerns were raised about its credibility, as well as opening up the IPAC meetings to the citizenry by allowing the live coverage of all IPAC meetings. Indeed, the decisions to re-exhibit the Provisional Voters Register to allow a further review by political parties and the citizenry, as well as the demystification of the IPAC meeting, has helped diffuse the tensions that were brewing around the Provisional Voters Register. Ultimately, those 2 decisions restored the confidence of the citizens in the Voters Register and cemented Ghana's peace. Again, in the spirit of responsiveness, when complaints were made about the 50 persons charged voters for the verification of their registration details online, the Commission waived the fee and allowed voters to verify their details at no cost. In line with our determination to ensure the credibility of the 2024 election, when the Commission received information of the leak of a single defaced ballot paper, the Commission acted swiftly and destroyed ballots for both Western and Eastern regions. This bold determination and this bold decision was based on our determination to uphold the integrity of the election at all costs. In less than 1 week, the Commission printed new ballot papers for both regions and went on to successfully hold the special voting 2 days ahead of the main election. As a Commission, our singular message to our teams at all levels has been clear. It is that our mandate is not to make anyone a president or a member of parliament, but rather to conduct and undertake credible and transparent elections and electoral processes which uphold the voter's choice and lead to acceptable and peaceful electoral outcomes. Today, our resolve has paid off. We have conducted elections that are fair, elections that are free, elections that are credible, elections that are elections that are peaceful, and elections whose outcomes are acceptable by all. So transparent are our processes that any interested political party, media house, or citizen could collate with near precision the results of the election, attesting to the resilient and robust processes built over the years. And we witnessed this with the concession of the Vice President, even before the declaration of the results by the Electoral Commission. Ladies and gentlemen, the testimonies on Election Day also attest to the efficient, robust, and resilient processes we put in place. Many citizens testified to the seamless processes they witnessed at the polling stations. The average time spent at the polling station was around 5 minutes compared to several hours and several minutes prior to the 2020 election. Citizens also attested to the efficiency of the biometric voter devices, the biometric verification devices employed to ensure that every man has one vote. The system worked efficiently and ensured that the voter who registered was indeed the person who voted. We are confident that the 2024 election will further cement trust in our electoral processes and reduce the suspicions that typically characterize elections on the continent. At this juncture, I would like to thank all of you who journeyed with us to ensure the success of the 2024 election. To our staff, both permanent and temporary, we say Ayiko, you have worked hard, put in long hours, plowed the field, and done the spade work at the risk of your own lives to bring us a successful outcome. Our hearts go out to our staff who were manhandled during this time. We wish you well, and we ask the good Lord to bless all of you. To our media partners who have journeyed with us and enabled us to bring the commission to the doorstep of every Ghanaian, we say thank you. To the
turning up.
Oh, that rhythm, yeah, sweet so that you go mad up that Christmas and beyond. You know, see so tell all the girl them fi come join up. Hey DJ, me say that junior eat. Slap way on every street. Every top girl want it. Tap up on top, me I give them that one and them. Me say that junior eat. Slap way on every street. Every top girl want it. I tap up on top, me I give them gas in the wall. That junior mad up. Inna the Gaza, inna the gully, it turn up. And I hands up turf, them a give me thumb up. Head concussion, one tall ration. I gonna me bun man a African boy. You see me and the gal them na bother ask why. And me them a rate me na lack up no blind. Loud them fi come get a ride. The rhythm a bad, no soft, not easy. I go at pan them, make them get busy. Necessary evil, can't refuse it. Boom bang inna the party. Me say that junior eat. Slap way on every street. Every top girl want it. Tap up on top, me I give them that one and them. They told me. I hear me there, yeah, with they told me they be me. I'm from that south, Papa, be yeah. They told me. I hear me there, yeah, with they told me they be me. I'm from that south, Papa, be yeah. Bum, some twist. I coulda be a zonto, I coulda be the flip. Bubble up, uno waistline. Don't watch nobody, can dance on the crack. Come in on the yard, bust me a wine. That sanya sweet like sugar cane wine. Easy no baby, no broke that spine. You make sure it never out a line. Can of top girl and bad girl. Leave them a rank that sanya push y'all. It a beat them back like ritual. And I eat at the daily special. Run road, me a run road. My song them a do a road. In a every nook and cranny be a gal them a want me. Can me make them catch up the cool. You see,
This is the City Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation.
every top girl want it. Tap up on top, me I give them that one and them. They told me.
And it's 7:36. Tuesday morning, December 10. This is 97.3 City FM, City Breakfast Show. Early on, we brought you the front page stories of Ghanaian Times from yesterday. It has now come So Ghanaian Times has come through their lead story being Mahama declared president-elect secures 56% historic comeback to Jubilee House. Police arrested 89 suspects over post-election offences and then refrained from vandalizing state properties, NDC to supporters. Yesterday, John Mahama delivered his acceptance speech at his private office in Accra Cantonment precisely. A lot of promises, and you could tell from the speech that he understands the weight of the burden this mandate imposes on him, and he calls on his supporters to celebrate moderately, and also sets the tone for what we should expect in the next administration. He's made a number of promises, but he understands also the economic difficulty in which we are in, and for me, the speech sort of props us up to get ready for action, because as he said, the Ghanaian people have become very intolerant
to
of bad governance. And then of course so tries to get us ready and makes us understand that this massive comeback is not because we are just happy changing government, but there is a huge expectation, and I feel that he kind of understands it. From General Mosquito's speech also, you get the feeling that yes, we have won, yes, it's historical, it's good for the history trends in our electoral history, whatever the expression is, but they need to cut down on the celebration quickly,
because there's work to be done.
Get to work, because there's a lot of work to be done. And then he also sort of makes us understand how people who expect to work in this government should anticipate what they should look forward to and all. So we'll bring you a playback of John Mahama's speech. We'll have a conversation. We'll speak to some of his spokespersons. Madam Joyce Bao Muktagri will be speaking to her. What are we to expect in this transition period as well? And then also, he's made a number of promises in his first 100 days. We should expect this. In his first 96 days, we should expect that. 60 ministers he's promised for such a historic comeback, and kind of margins you have. As he mentioned, there is a legion of people he has to thank, and sometimes the thank you also go into appointments. He made the point that we're going to have a country where everyone is a brother and sister, people who are competent, everyone should feel a part of the country, the leadership of the country. So all talents will be, involved in this. How are you going to have only 60 ministers when there are a lot of people who are also looking for appointments here and there? So huge expectations, a lot of work to be done, but also bigger promises, and people will actually hold him to account. So a lot is ongoing, but for you, our listener, what did you make of the speech? We would be happy to hear from you. 0549-986-996, 0549-986-996. And what is also your reflection of the performance of the conduct of the Electoral Commission in this particular one? We've had election observer missions visit. Some of them have shared their observations and recommendations. We'll be bringing you all of that on the show this morning. We'll get into all that shortly. The number to join us with your dedications and comments is 0549-986-996. Before we get into the details of all that, we have some important announcements for you. I'm here with Nana Tufo Boateng, Nathan Kwao, and Susu Graham. Of course, some of the outcomes are still trickling in. As it stands now, we have enough to know clearly who the president is. So the EC chairperson declared John Mahama yesterday president-elect officially, and some of the parliamentary results are still trickling in. There are updates we'll be sharing with you, so a lot of data will be coming as well on the show. However, some announcement for you this morning. Where are you headed, my friend? Going to the shopping mall, buying fuel for your car? Are you enjoying your favorite meal for breakfast? Or you're shopping online for the things that you need? Wherever you go, whatever you're doing, do it with the SG Visa card. The SG Visa card is your best option to make payments for goods and services online or anywhere with points of sale machine. Enjoy a world of amazing opportunities available with the SG Visa card. Go about your business anywhere in Ghana with the comfort and security of your money available to you always. Find out more. Call 0302-214-314. SG Ghana, the future is you. And if you're looking for litigation-free land, contact Royal Kingdom Estate. Specialize in land acquisition, construction, design, property management, and more. We have property in prime areas like Accra and Abri with land starting at 90,000 Ghana cedis. We offer flexible payment plans, affordable homes ranging from 2 bedrooms and premium furnished apartments for short rentals in East Airport. Visit us at Cantonments. We are opposite Soul Clinic International School. Call us 0557 555 909 027 277 8880. Send us an email, info at Royal Kingdom Estate. Royal Kingdom Estate, building communities, nurturing dreams.
Now, from the innovative minds at Wiggle Vision Limited, Ghana's leading technology company, comes Frog, is the ultimate USSD, OTP, and bulk SMS messaging platform designed to transform your business communication. If you are ready to take your customer outreach and engagement to the next level, then contact Wiggle on 0553-019-529 or visit their website wiggle.com.gh or sms.wiggle.com.gh. Wiggle Vision, empowering businesses one message at a time. And the new order of retirement is here. You can now retire on your own terms with a guaranteed monthly income for the rest of your life. All you need to do is invest a lump sum into the Old Mutual Retirement Salary Plan today and start receiving monthly income to enjoy the perfect retirement. It is that easy. The best part is you also get to enjoy a salary increase. Get in touch with Old Mutual on 050-453-4333 or visit their website oldmutual.com.gh. Old Mutual do great things every day.
Okay.
If you have a business and you want to get that business to give you bigger sales, get you more customers, and send you out there on the wings of a wider reach, then download the Bisame app because it will help you connect to your customers. If you're a shop owner, seamstress, trader, mechanic, or artisan, this is what you need. Your security is assured. Just download it from the App Store or Play Store, enter your business details, reach more customers, and watch your sales climb higher and higher. Grow your business, connect with customers, and enjoy success with ease with the Bisame app. And gender-based violence remains a critical barrier to achieving equality and accessing essential services in Ghana. GBV affects females and vulnerable populations, limiting their ability to seek healthcare, education, and legal protection. Let's unite to eliminate gender-based violence. So get in touch with WAPCAS, which is the Ghana West Africa program to combat AIDS and STIs, on 0800 123 555 or speak to the Domestic Violence Secretariat on 0800 111 222.
And to some dedications, I extend warm regards to the team. Today marks a significant milestone in my life as I turn 40. My humble wish is for you to give me a glorious shout out on the Citi Breakfast Show this morning. I pray for sound health and God's grace to journey on in life. Divine Agboli Divine. Happy 40th, sir. We wish you all that you wish for yourself and more. Yesterday, I was monitoring President Mahama's speech on my way home. Of course, after the Electoral Commission had delivered or announced to us all that he is officially the president-elect. Let me pick your thoughts, right? Perhaps I want to start with the declaration itself, the process. People were kind of on tenterhooks. People had waited for a while. Of course, it had happened long before the 72-hour time frame the EC had given us, and so people were quite impatient. They were like, Madam EC, get on with it already, let's know what it is. But others were saying perhaps it's a speech to say thank you and it is finished. What's your remarks, briefly, impressions of how
the whole process was conducted, and then we come to President Mahama and his, speech from last night.
Well, Caleb, even before we get into the president's speech or that of the EC making the declaration, I think we need to congratulate all Ghanaians.
We've done well.
We need to congratulate the EC itself. I mean, the political parties, the flag bearers, Ghanaians who went out there to vote,
security officials,
everyone that
journalists.
contributed to this successful election. Because you see, the 2024 elections actually put the vaunted democracy of Ghana to a test. You understand? Because heading into the polls, Ghana, of course, touted as the lodestar of West Africa's democracy, was facing arguably its toughest test, if you ask me, in elections, because you see, we're going into the election with a very harsh economic environment. There was low trust in institutions. There was deepening polarization, and all these things will fuel, fears of a disorderly election.
And the kind of comments that were coming in from Abetifi, sometimes on campaign trails and all of that. We are not going to hand over power, and all some of the it really got to that point where you were actually sitting on tenterhooks and
so coming on that backdrop, and that deepened polarization, the harsh economic environment, and all that, to successfully conduct ourselves in this manner, I think we all deserve a pat on our backs, and of course continue to keep that torch burning. You understand? Once again, we have done it. We said we would do it, and we have done it.
We have delivered.
Exactly. Now let's go to the EC and the speech, the declaration speech. I think Jean Mensah is perhaps or arguably one of the people who maintains composure than anyone else.
Despite the stress.
She has maintained composure from day one. She didn't look weak. She didn't look tired.
She didn't cower to the pressure, huh?
Not at all. She stood her grounds, insisted, and did what it is that she had to do. And I think she must be commended for it. And then you notice how she broke down the speech from the promise she made as the commissioner that she will go ahead and conduct a free, fair, transparent and peaceful election, reassuring everybody, confirming that indeed that she has delivered on that mandate. And then of course breaking down the figures therein and declaring John Dramani Mahama president-elect. I think it was a well-delivered speech. It captured all that it needed to capture. Coming from the perspective of the referee in this matter, it didn't set people off on the wrong tone. It didn't pit one party against the other. She went straight to the point. This is my business for the day. This is why I am here. I have delivered on it. Congratulations to the winner. It is finished.
But there was a lot of pressure. You could feel the anxiety. Was it anxiety?
Tensions. The tensions.
And especially when she slipped and also said 6,000.
That was my favorite part of the entire speech. The fact that she got the figure, and I'm sure.
I said, let me take that again.
I'm sure in her mind, the alarm bells must have gone off to say, "Hey!"
Didn't something similar happen in the last election?
Yeah, the last election too.
But you see, if you're
the numbers
with
are
figures,
the numbers are big. The numbers. We are so used to even six figures for a lot of people saying it. It's not easy.
It's not easy.
And this is what getting to the seven figure, and then it's not like it's a clean figure, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's more like the number is going up and down. There's six. It's just too difficult. If you have to, it's like memorizing a phone number, really. So it's not easy.
But I think it was short, straight to the point.
Exactly.
The clarity have always
was
been
it short? For a lot of people, it seemed like forever.
It was relatively. I think it was relatively routine. The declaration was done okay. It is finished part. I will not go into the conspiracy theories, but people have tried to deconstruct the "it is finished" to mean all kinds of. I don't even know. I don't even know. Why people want.
She maintains so much composure. It's just beautiful to watch her speak.
Yeah. Yeah. The Commonwealth released a statement. You know, we've had a couple of statements from the observer missions that came in, and very often, you know, it's great to actually hear from people who come to watch what you do. In addition to your own reflections, the African Union came. They gave us the African Union Election Observation Mission.
Okay.
They've written what they observed. They have recommendations. We have the ECOWAS Commission. They were also here. And then we also had the Commonwealth interim statement by His Excellency Dr. Mokweski Eric Masisi. He's former president of the Republic of Botswana, and he was the chairperson of the Commonwealth Observer Group Ghana. And so I think that it's a good time we can chip in some of their observations here and there. They talk about the pre-election environment and commended the various political parties for participating in the IPAC meetings and signing the Peace Pact and all of that. They were happy with the special voting and how we conducted it. When it comes to the conduct of polls, they say that it was generally peaceful. However, we are saddened by the reports of violence which resulted in death and injury during these elections. The Commonwealth Observer Group condemns this act of violence and calls on the respective authorities to investigate and bring the perpetrators to justice. The layout of most polling stations, which were outside in the open, ensured secrecy of the vote for the most part, though in some cases the positioning of the voting booths could have potentially compromised secrecy. This issue came up a lot of the times. We kept harping on this on and on. On the media, they were impressed with how vibrant, diverse, and relatively free media outlets across traditional and digital platforms were in Ghana, and they commended the media as well, commended the police for a good job done. In conclusion, it says that we applaud the people of Ghana for turning out in an orderly manner to exercise their franchise. We recommend the Electoral Commission. We commend the Electoral Commission, polling station staff, political parties, police, and media for the respective roles in ensuring the successful conduct of the elections in Ghana thus far. They go on to commend the losing team, Dr. Baumia, for his concession speech. It came in handy. They commend him. They say it de-escalated potential tensions. Commended President Mahama, President-elect as well. But there was an observation they made that caught my attention. They talked about the booths we have and the fact that it doesn't help persons with disabilities. For those with visual impairments, they talk about the jacket, the ballot jacket, and they thought it was a good one. But in terms of the height of the booth, they thought that if you were in a wheelchair, it wasn't very inclusive. So in the future, they recommended for adjustable booths to help, you know, persons with disability. Perhaps we can have entire booths just designated for that purpose without having to adjust it, and that would be good. But they also talk about the fact that they will actually put out a full-blown recommendation that we can look out for. So that's the statement from the ECOWAS Observer Mission. There is that of the African Union, and another one that I'll let you all also take us through a bit later. But Nathan, let me take your observations as well, especially from last night, how the NDC organized the acceptance speech. There was a bit of a party. You know, the bigwigs were there. All supporters, a number of their supporters were there. It was obviously a jubilatory mood for them. How was it organized? How did you see how it all came? I think, was it after Muhammad's speech they played One Love, trying to have a reconciliatory approach, though they celebrated the victory.
You know, let's get together.
You know, I thought that was that was
Sami Jafi.
Yeah.
you remember that during their was it the campaign launch?
Yes.
That's when SUD Kitia requested we gotta chase those crazy.
Oh my God. These guys. Yeah, but I think the organization. Look, let me hear you, Nathan.
I will say this, that I was very happy with the tone of the event.
Right.
It did not come off as
rubbing things in your face.
Yes, it did not. And for me, It was the biggest thing I was looking out for. It was not confrontational.
Right.
It was not derogatory. It didn't look like a ceremony that was designed to jab the MPP and say you lost, ha 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 ha.
And
no,
you did it.
I think it was a ceremony that highlighted a number of things, and I was with Nanato on telly yesterday, and I made that point on Channel 1 TV that what John Mahama possesses, or what he has, is the gift of experience. It may be a weight along the line, because there are certain things I'm sure he may do that people will say, oh, you've been president before, we expected better. But what that experience gives him is how to navigate these things. He's been president before. What's the point in going absolutely overboard with a celebration or with an event like this? There's no point. I think what he sought to do, and I commend him and the team, was to remind themselves, and the constant reminders from a lot of the speakers were on the mandates that had been given to them, and the need to deliver, the weight of expectation, and the constant reminders that the Ghanaian electorate was a very unforgiving electorate, and the Ghanaian electorate had wisened up to all the schemes and shenanigans of politicians. So for me, the entire ceremony encapsulated that part, the fact that there was this reminder, you know, of the mandate and the expectation. The whole event was very low key, low tone. It didn't drag for long. It wasn't a show off. It was an event that showed, at least to me, that people who had understood what they had been presented with, and people who were willing to make it work. In the next 4 years, we'll experience all kinds of ups and downs. But like I always say, or as I always say, when politicians make statements on such platforms, at such events, in this front-facing manner where they engage Ghanaians, it is good, because we always will have a reference point. We will have something to hold you by. And I'm happy that the NDC and John Mahama have made these statements to remind themselves of the work they have to do. So I think overall it was a good event. I thoroughly enjoyed listening to the speech. It was what I expected to hear from a president-elect. And I think he delivered a very wise speech, a very encouraging speech, a speech that spoke to different things. The challenges Ghanaians had experienced up until the polls, how Ghanaians are feeling now, and the collective call to himself, John Mahama, and the people he'll be working with in government, that there is a lot we must do. And the acknowledgement that it will be a very tough ride for a bit.
Indeed.
And that understanding for me was highlighted in the speech.
So you think that this tone of sobriety is also a way of managing the expectations of the Ghanaians? Because, I mean, with such a decisive victory, I mean, you needed to... And of course, yesterday you did make the point that Ghanaians have come to appreciate the difficult place in which we're in, and are sort of ready to cut you some slack so that you can get things done. That was when we were talking about the taxes thing and the kind of expectations people had. So it was good on his part to create that tone of sobriety and start managing expectation, and start also giving indications to people who hope or have expectations of working in a government under his leadership that is not going to be, you know, a jolly ride.
I have two possible explanations for this, and I may be wrong, but I feel that it's because of there's also this there's this tension around the polarization we talked about, the way it's gotten very aggressive, at least on social media. You see a lot of aggression between people who are pro-government and anti-government, and maybe the sobriety is partly because we want to cool that down. We're like, okay, where we are going as a country is not healthy, so let's tone it down. And like you said, it might be the economic issues. The sobriety might be just because, look, it's going to be tough.
Really tough.
We know that debt repayment is starting next year, as far as we are aware. We are hearing that public debt is about $9 million, that kind of thing. Debt to GDP ratio is getting into the 80s and whatnot. I have to get the exact figures, but things are not good on the fiscal side. So maybe that sobriety is, like you said, to temper expectations. But I think maybe in the short term, there's all this aggression, polarization. I think the campaign got nasty at some point.
It really did.
So all of those things, I just say, hey, look, we've done our campaign. Campaigning is done. it's time for governance. Let's forget about all of these things. Let's focus on what's important, because like everyone I keep saying, we have one Ghana. You know, we've heard it from a lot of the talking heads, quote unquote, who've been coming on air. Fifi Kwete said it. You hear Baumia will put out there's all these things about one Ghana. We don't want to destroy blah blah blah. So I think everybody is trying to kind of calm the situation down, because you know, tension was a bit high. We've seen some of the things that have happened, you know, very unpleasant things. I mean, the EC official getting killed in Damango, according to reports, horrible situation. So all of these things are just like, look, right now we are like a 10. The heat is on high. Let's kind of cool down. Let's turn off the stove. I think that's the kind of the tone of the whole situation. And that's how I see it. That it's more that forget about the economic thing. Right now, there's a bit of tension in the country. Let's cool it down. I think that's where that's coming from. Because if you give a very triumphant, aggressive speech, it can
like you have the magic wand to.
It can rile up some people who are a bit on edge. Where if he cools it down, because leadership comes from the top. If he sobers the situation, I think people will be sober. I think that's how it goes.
Brilliant.
But I also at the third thing that maybe it is that maybe they feel that despite the decisive victory, like you said, low turnout, and the fact is more like the MPP lost votes than they gained votes, and make them think that okay, maybe this is more like people don't like the previous government than people like us. It could be in the back of their mind. I don't know how much they think about these things, but maybe they also think that maybe it's more that people don't like these guys. So it's not that they like us. It's not that they like us.
So they're just so disappointed and embarrassed they didn't go.
Because that's what the numbers are showing. We don't like MPP rather because it's not like Mahama picked up those votes. He didn't pick them up. The votes just disappeared. It looks like the lowest turnout you've had in the Fourth Republic.
Yes.
So the public is also sending a message in a way. And I had this argument with one of our colleagues, Edwin, about what not voting means. And how important is in
not
this
voting is actually voting.
It's voting, but you see, politicians they only care about results. So if you don't vote, even if two people vote and two people vote for them, they'll take it. So maybe I wonder how much the low turnout is affecting them, because the low turnout, it does have a meaning. From us analyzing, it definitely shows that the public is losing trust in both parties for sure. But are they? Is the message going to the parties? That's the only question.
That's a very good one. We'll come back to that with more and probably talk to some of the people who are really close to the president and have their perspective of what the president sought to achieve with that kind of tone and address last night, and also look into the transition period and preparations to take off and all of that conversation, and also deal with the issue of party people attacking state installations and demanding, hooliganism and vandalism all over the place, demanding their pound of flesh and all of that. We will look into that. But it's time for Tech and Social Media Trends. Tech and Social Media Trends is brought to you by First Bank Ghana and Telecel. First Bank Ghana says if you're sending money to Gambia, Guinea, Liberia, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone, it's much easier now with the Pan-African Payment and Settlement Systems PAPS. You can send or receive money to any of these countries. Visit any of our branches nationwide and your cash is set in a minute. Receive money the same way, and you need a First Bank Ghana account. This is how we put you first. Call us to find out more about this system. 0596 921 921 is the magic number. And it's the season for connections, joy, and lasting memories. Just don't run out of data. Telecel Fixed Broadband has an amazing package for you this season. We're introducing the Too Much Christmas offer, which gives you a whopping 150% bonus data for just 150 Ghana cedis extra on your current plan. More data, more Christmas magic. Experience the magic of uninterrupted internet this festive season. Perfect for all things you love to do online. Simply dial *900#. Visit www.telecel.com.gh. Download the Telecel Play app to subscribe to the Too Much Christmas offer on Telecel Fixed Broadband today. Telecel, connecting energies. And Nathan Neobodakwal is ready with the Check your social media trends. My goodness, the trolls.
Yeah. Maybe one of these days I should do a compendium of all the funny comments, and we'll talk about
the
them.
videos, the memes.
Oh Lord, Jesus.
And people are confessing. People are also, some are revealing things online. This one didn't do that. This one did that.
Anyway, let's get into the trends. Baba Sadiq. Baba Sadiq is sitting in top spot on the trends, right? He's the new MP elect for Okaikwe South, and Honorable Patrick Boama says no way we are going to court. That. But yesterday, Baba Sadiq, and you see, the thing about the Baba Sadiq story is not the fact that he was declared the winner. No. But it's the drama surrounding the declaration.
Sam George was there.
The Sam George was there. People were saying that the guys were marking the EC official closely, and somebody said, "If my club's defender could mark like this, I'd be a happier fan." So there's that. Also trending. It is finished. It's trending. Almost 20,000 posts. It is finished. People are quoting. It is finished. Jean Mensah's last line of the declaration from yesterday. So other related themes: Ghanaians, the EC, Mahama, Ebi Bright, Jean Mensah, Nanado, Sam George, Martin Pebu, Okaikwe Central. Congratulations, Tema Central. And other Paul Adumotu is also trending. I wonder why. Katie Hammond is also here. And then actor Prince David Osei. It's also trending. Why is Prince David Osei trending? Now, in an exchange with somebody on the then Twitter platform, now X, he allegedly, and people have produced screenshots of the said tweet where he's making a reference to a political person as, quote, a drunkard. Now, some people are alleging that he's making that reference to John Mahama. I'm not too sure. I haven't been able to draw the proper link yet. But now people are saying that the drunkard he was referring to was John Mahama. And so people are taking him to the cleaner, saying that how can you say this and all of that. Let's not forget that Prince David Osei has been upsetting people on X a lot, right? With his posts supporting Dr. Baumia and antagonizing.
Is he still acting? I don't remember the last time
I
saw him.
I know him as an actor, so and all of that. We saw him on the campaign platforms, and also Prince David Osei is equally trending here. People producing some old tweets and all of that. So some tech news, and this is about the third time I'm going to read this type of story, right? Now, two families have sued artificial intelligence chatbot company Character.ai, accusing the company of providing sexual content to their children and encouraging self-harm and violence. Now, the lawsuit asks a court to shut the platform down, and it says until the alleged dangers can be fixed. Now, the lawsuit was brought by parents of two young people who used the platform, and the lawsuit is alleging that Character.ai, quote, poses a clear and present danger to American youth, causing serious harm to thousands of kids, including suicide, self-mutilation, sexual solicitation, isolation, depression, anxiety, and harm towards others, end quote. This was contained in a suit filed in Texas on Monday. So as we talk about AI and everything, the law must also try and keep these companies in check to see how best they can regulate the tool, because it turns out some people are misusing it, and these platforms or the new age tech can cause a lot more harm than good if not properly regulated.
That's true, and I think that we do not need to wait till it gets there before we have our own policies.
No, we have to. We have to start thinking long and hard about it, because now AI is quite popular in Ghana. People use ChatGPT and all of that, and different types of AI to do different things.
And you saw that really during the election period where people use fake deep. All these fakes. Deep fake, okay. I'm saying fake deep.
So it's important that we think about
fake deep is those quotes you see.
Deep fake is
so it's important. We need to think about that a lot. AI is a great tool, but in the wrong hands, it can cause a lot of problems.
That was tech and social media trends.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
Who served as president of the Republic of Ghana between 2012 and 2016. He was voted out, and some said he could not be president again. Some even mocked him and said he is the only person to have become a one-term president. But ladies and gentlemen, today, the Lord, ladies and gentlemen,
days are ahead of us. My brothers and sisters, a while ago, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, Madame Jean Mensah, declared me the winner of the 2024 presidential election. I give thanks and praise to the Almighty God, because this successful outcome can only be the doing of the Lord. I'd like to thank the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, for his statesmanship in conceding the election long before the declaration of the results by the Electoral Commission. This concession largely diffused the tensions that are characteristic of high-stakes elections such as this. I also just received a call from His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He graciously extended his congratulations to me, and we had the opportunity to discuss matters related to the Joint Transitional Team. We agreed on an early inauguration of the Joint Transitional Team as early as Wednesday, the 11th of December. I conveyed my sincerest regards to him and expressed my readiness for us to work together to ensure a smooth transition in the best interest of the Ghanaian people. The results of this election, as declared today by the Electoral Commissioner, show that the National Democratic Congress, with me, John Dramani Mahama, as leader, has just chalked one of the most emphatic victories in the electoral history of the Fourth Republic. We have therefore been bestowed with a very outstanding mandate by the good people of Ghana. I'm deeply honored and humbled to receive such an overwhelming endorsement from the Ghanaian people.
People getting high. Osibisa, it says celebration. You know, I actually paid better attention to this song when Kwampa performed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kwampa performed this at the Ghana Trade House,
right,
in Nairobi, and it felt nice hearing the song somewhere else. And I went to pay attention to him. No, but I'll come back to you still on our conversation with respect to the post-election victory speech and the aftermath and the tone, the messages that they've tried to set. We would also mention the speech of the Vice President-elect, who has made history as the first female Vice President we're going to have. Started this whole history-making business as the first female Vice Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast. Today we have a good number of other female Vice Chancellors, including my very own Nana Bapianfo, Prof. Legon, and then Professor Rita in KNUST, and then also has a female vice chancellor.
I think so.
So maybe we are going to have more female appointees, MMDCs, and ministers or something.
More profoundly now that the affirmative action bill has been passed.
You see what I'm saying? But then the Secretary of State of the U.S., Anthony Blinken, he's released a statement. You remember there was one that came earlier that made some people were unhappy about it. Charlie, this visa restriction on people who foment trouble here. But there's a statement here I would like to share with our listeners very quickly before we go back into the analysis and bring also the voices that we heard from yesterday. This one says, the United States congratulates President-elect John Mahama on his successful election campaign. Following the declaration of results by Ghana's Electoral Commission, we extend further congratulations to Vice President-elect Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman on becoming Ghana's first female Vice President. The United States commends the Electoral Commission, its hundreds of thousands of poll workers, civil society, and the country's security forces who helped ensure a peaceful and transparent process. We also applaud Vice President Mahmoud Baumea for his gracious acceptance of the results. We are aware of reports of isolated incidents of violence and at least 4 confirmed deaths. The United States extends our condolences to the families of those killed and urges a full investigation and accountability. The United States is proud of our enduring partnership and friendship with the people and government of Ghana. We look forward to working closely with President-elect Mahama to carry our historic relationship into the future. So that's it. A press statement from the Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, on Ghana's presidential election results. Let me come to Susu on the speech. I'm sure you listened of the Vice President-elect Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. What you make of it, how it came across to you, and all.
I think she sounded very impressive. I think we have a lot of people in this country who have the idea that women shouldn't be in leadership positions. So that speech and how impressive it was, it's going a long way to change those perceptions, because it's unfortunate that we have these thoughts. Because, there were even videos on social media, people said they won't vote for Mahama because why has he put a woman as vice? You see these videos online, and it's very disheartening. So I think it's important to be putting her front and center, having her making these speeches, putting her in an active role to kind of change ideas around women in leadership. I think this shouldn't be just a symbolic, we've put a woman there, we support women. We want to also see agendas and things that support women. So this is a good first step. I was happy with the speech. I was happy to hear her and want to be hearing more of her as things go along. I think I want to just say that.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with Susu. I think that we've come a long way. Beijing was 95, right? Nana Konedu went to that conference. Beijing, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
It must have been 95.
Thereabouts.
97.
I'm not too
in the
sure
90s, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
So a lot has been said about women getting into leadership positions. In Ghana, we have done our bit, affirmative action, blah, blah, blah. But I think putting a woman on the ballot or picking a woman as a running mate and saying that in the event that I become president, you become 95 in Beijing. I remember Nana Konedu-Agyeman went to that event. It was a big deal growing up. So for somebody to say, I'm putting a woman on my ticket twice, come hell or high water, because John Mahama tried it the first time, it didn't work. There was a lot of internal opposition, but he stood.
Truthfully, the second time he did,
many people wondered. Many people wondered why he was doing it. It's paid off because clearly it helped in a way. We are yet to quantify how much, that contributed. But we are here. We've made history. Ghana now is going to get a first female vice president, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. And you see, once we do it, or we've taken this first step, it will tell us that we can keep on doing it. We can allow more women to get into leadership positions. I've always said that for me, competence is key. So if you find a competent woman, give her the position, give her the opportunity, let her deliver. We've done a lot of firsts in this country, a lot of firsts, right? We we've had, for example, people who came from the finance background, the late Misatha, Dr. Baumia himself. They were not hardcore politicians, and they were brought into the political space. They were technocrats. So we've now gone into the arena of, we've brought a woman who has spent her whole life doing education, and now she's in the second highest office of the land. We've had women be speakers of parliament, which is wonderful. We've taken one giant step forward. So I'm happy with that. I'd love to see how the next 4 years will go with Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman as vice president. And I love what she said. She said that she's not opened the door only, but she's holding the door so others come in. And I think that is a great way to inspire many young women that you can get there too.
We have that voice of hers. I will bring that quickly, and then also bring you what Mahama said about her, which I thought was very
that's what I was looking to touch on.
I'll bring you that, but let's hear Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, Ghana's vice president-elect.
What an interesting journey it has been. And you know, nobody sets out on a journey by herself or even by himself. It has been a very, very interesting one. And I want to thank all of you, those who are here, those who are not here. I want to thank all of them for their good wishes, for their prayers, for their contributions in many, many ways, and for bringing all of us to this site. All I have to say is thank you very much. Thank you very much for everything you have done. And whatever you did, as our chairman has said, the fun is over, the work is about to begin. And as we journey together, we need to realize that we have to move forward also together. Again, I want to thank you. My nomination has many, many implications. You know, normally, no one even expects you to err in any way. If this will happen, and we know it will happen, it means all of us are on board. The victory is for all of us, but especially for our daughters, for our youth, for our women. Sorry I have to appear in a mask because I have a very, very bad cold, but the cold will disappear too. I know this is a big responsibility, and I don't intend to travel this journey by myself. You are all part of it. NDC is an inclusive party, and we are demonstrating it in many ways. My job was to have opened the door, and it doesn't end there. Actually, that is where the work began. I will hold the door open. The method of opening the door, the method of holding the door open so others wish to travel that door is what I'm implying. It is not a self-aggrandizing position. It is a position that empowers others. This country is not going to be built only by half the gender. They know very well, whether we are in the public space or not, the roles we play. And we have accepted as NDC to facilitate the process. I'm counting on all of you, that you all come along, you all work hard in your various spaces, and finally, that we put smiles on people who either have no access or who are not very respected. I thank you again and again, and I know, thank you for the comments. I wish blessings on our country. I wish blessings on our children. those who are here and those yet to be born. I wish blessings on those who are here and their future. And I believe that the meaning of blessing is to be good to another person.
And that was Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, Vice President-elect, first female for that matter in the Republic of Ghana. This is 97.3 Citi FM, and we call this the Citi Breakfast Show. In the studio with my brothers Nathan Neobodai, Nanatufo Boating, Susu Graham. Of course, show is produced by Fred Tete Jabano, Shiba Araba Ben Susu. Did I
Why
change
am I
your
the only
name?
one with two names?
I have two names also. Okay.
Don't you have some Yao or Kokuvi?
Well, I have Yao actually.
Kobla. So you have three names there.
The one he only said two. That's why because he gave.
Okay, Susu Yao Graham.
But I'm not
Forgive
might
him.
have a fourth name.
Yeah.
His day name.
Without an English name.
I actually have about 5.
Of course, Godfred Abekodum, the richest man, is here.
You see, he's done it again.
What's that?
Put three, then.
Godfred Odum.
He said, Abi.
Right. No, let me stay with the three names. We have the new Terramont Treadline. It's a V6 special deal. Nana Tufo. This one, if you get it for the weekend,
talk to me, my brother.
For the holiday,
you know what I'm saying?
It's a 7 seats. This thing for adults.
Above fire.
It's comfortable. 3.6L petrol engine. It comes with maximum power that takes you and your family to any destination across the 16 regions of Ghana and beyond.
Chai.
Any terrain.
Heritage caravan my mind.
Intelligent all-wheel system. I'm telling you, you can go to all the nooks and crannies of the country.
You understand?
It has a V6 engine.
Fire.
With a 280 horsepower 4-motion all-wheel drive system designed for speed and safety. Its service interval of 6 months or 10,000 kilometers, whichever comes first, announces the durable components used to build the Amarok. Its starting price is 750,000 Ghana cedis. So take advantage now while stock lasts. Hurry. T's and C's apply. Call or WhatsApp VW Ghana on 0257 956 688. For more information about our range of models, we have the Vetus, T-Cross, T1 Allspace, Terramont, and the Amarok pickup. And there is exciting news from Coca-Cola. Thrilled to announce the return of your favorite Coca-Cola original regular taste in 300 ml glass bottle. You can buy and enjoy the refreshing taste of Coca-Cola with the convenience of returning your glass bottles for reuse. Charlie. Seriously, Coca-Cola first. It be Christmas when they drink Cocoa.
No way.
I'm telling you, like Christmas, you get a small bottle of.
See, Caleb, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Charlie, are you that time some small cake there, 2 bottles of Coke on the right, 2 bottles of Fanta on the left, and you are all standing in front of it. Room divider.
Take a picture with some cloth on it,
and then you take a picture.
Oh my goodness, we've come a long way.
We really
Today
have. We give thanks to God.
Yeah, man. So grab a bottle of Coke, especially the returnable bottle. No, that one who used to child that you used to sell crazy.
You understand? or if you don't have a coil stand where you light your coil, then you put it in.
Oh my goodness, memories, man, memories. But Coke, Fanta, Sprite in the returnable glass bottle is going for just 3 cedis 50 pesos. If you prefer the recyclable PET bottle, it's going for 6 Ghana cedis. Find us on Instagram and Facebook at Coca-Cola GH. Connect with us there. Experience the real magic with Coca-Cola's original taste. So let me find out from you, our listeners. I'm interested in hearing from you as well. That's the tone of yesterday's victory or acceptance speech. That's the series of events we've seen since this election give you some renewed hope in the country. I'll be happy to hear from you. 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. Let's hear you. We're happy to share your voice with the rest of the world. and I'll bring you John Mahama's statement now. But then before that, we were still on the role of, on the history, the historical significance of Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. And I think that since Mahama, actually, the role of the vice president has been, sort of recalibrated.
Yeah.
We saw Aliyu Mahama, his campaign on indiscipline, all that. There was some songs.
I was too young.
You were too young. Me too. I heard it.
What's that?
I heard it. Aliyu Mahama's role and his campaign on discipline.
Yeah.
There were some songs that were
the
played.
Bradford song.
Yes.
The Bradford song. It was huge.
Yeah. And
Caleb,
all
you
that.
really worried me today.
Oh, well, I've exposed your age. Don't worry.
Apologies, Susu.
There was this campaign and someone was peeing somewhere and then someone came the person and all of that.
Yeah.
There was a particular song.
That was from the vice president. I remember that when I was okay.
Yeah. There was that. Then with transition,
So we must have been in secondary school at the time.
I think so.
Yeah, this was
yes.
The mid noughties. So early. So Kufuor came in 2001.
2001.
Yeah, so that was around that time.
Yeah.
01, 02.
Senior high school area. Yeah.
So we've transitioned from that stage.
You are complaining about that. Wait till you come and sit with the banners and the skies.
When Samens is here, and they're talking about a tampon. And
thank you.
What am I doing here?
Now just grab a book and read.
Yeah, so you had the Aliyu Mahama vice presidency, marked really by a social engineering campaign. Then from there you had who? John Evans at Mills. I'm talking about vice president.
Vice president, okay.
Vice president.
Yeah. I'm starting from Aliyu Mahama. Forgive me.
No problem. So after him, then it was John Mahama.
John
Mahama. The late Professor Mills being president. John Mahama was
and then
was
you had Dr. Baumia, who's made
that was a Pakwesi Mr.
That was a Misata. Forgive me.
Mr.
And then, but truthfully, when it comes to the vice presidential role, for the most visible, most active, that has been described of Dr. Baumia, right, as the most visible,
most recent,
of course, most
because John Mahama and the Mills was also very visible.
He was very active.
Well,
very active, very visible.
Very active. Very active at the time. I do remember, even though I was quite young.
Especially in the latter days of the good old Prof.
Right.
Yeah, John Mahama was very, very visible because you remember the good old Prof wasn't really well. He wasn't fit. So John Mahama took the forefront. He played out almost all the roles of the president.
So the role of the vice president has been evolving, and in our constitution, I was listening to the conversation on TV yesterday. Sky was talking about how the constitution really so basically as vice president you serve at the pleasure of your president.
Yeah.
And so the role you play is what the president asks you to do. And for many, they feel that Baumia also had that spotlight and all because Nana Akufo-Addo gave him that prominent space to play the game in the economic, digital, and all of that. Now we're seeing a professor, distinguished academic who has come from years of being an administrator, being at the forefront of administration at the highest level of tertiary education. So is her role going to be redefined? Are we going to see her economic management team, all of these things? I don't know, just having this conversation top of mind. Should that role be redefined for her?
No, I think the law cuts out her role for her. The law, mandates her to be head of the economic management team. The number of responsibilities that are assigned to her as per the constitution, and so for those ones, they are set out for her, and it's only a given. But what other roles or how much flexibility the number one will give her? Is what we'll be looking out for. And if judging from how John Mahama brought her into the 2020 race as his running mate, kept her for 2024
when it was not so popular to do.
Exactly. And if you listen to how John Mahama spoke about her yesterday, it gives you a lot of confidence. And if you noticed, even prior to the election, the free role she was assigned to campaign. Listen, she delivered one of the best speeches ever during, I think it was on her endorsement at the UPSC.
Yeah. Correct.
She delivered one of the best speeches you'd hear a politician deliver.
It was a very
you get it, and so it gives hope that really she knows that her role is cut out for her. I am sure the party internally have had that conversation and know what role she's going to play. You get it. But for me, I am excited because now in the eyes of every little girl out there, there is hope for the female.
That your gender does not place
exactly
restriction on
Not
what
to-
you can
not
do
to-
or what
exactly.
you
Not
can
to,
be.
not to sound funny, but for the little girl out there, it is possible.
Well, very well.
I might get into trouble for saying this, but
No, just no, but
that video really
hilarious, like, it's so
it really cracked me up.
It was so hilarious.
Well, when you look at Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyemang, now you hear her name and then I mean, history jumps at you, right? Like you hear Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyemang. It's synonymous to breaking boundaries.
Thank you. That's how. So this is what Mahama said, right? I will play his voice shortly. Before I play Mahama's voice, it's quite lengthy. We'll give you the full one. We'll bring you comments as well. But this is what Mahama said of Professor Nana Jane. He said, "I would like to thank the Vice President-elect, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyemang, for being an exemplary and inspirational running mate. Nana, your decency, humility, and sense of responsibility added so much to this campaign. The eyes of every young girl, not only in Ghana, but in nations across this continent and the world, are on you today. Your name has become synonymous with breaking boundaries.
Thank you.
You have opened the door for boundless opportunities for our female citizens." I'll leave the rest for him to say.
And she says she's not just opening the door,
she's holding it
open.
What did I say?
You understand?
I want to just mention something. The whole economic management team thing. If you remember, Osei Chairman Sabonsu actually said there's no constitutional basis.
Right.
That is the arrangement that the NPP had decided that Mahama will head it, along with the finance minister and whatnot. So she might not, their economic management team, economic management council, whatever they want to call it, even if they want to call it economic management parliament, whoever they'll put there, it doesn't have to be here. They can decide,
and you don't have to be an economist to be.
But
I mean, for what to say, it doesn't necessarily.
So it's not. I mean, it's not constitutionally mandated.
It's not constitutionally mandated for you to even have that.
It's a decision the party has to take.
Exactly. So I'm feeling that maybe they'll think of her. They'll have other rules. Maybe because she's not an economist, but maybe they might even feel like she knows enough. They might want to put her as head, maybe for whatever reason. So I don't think there is a necessity that she be there. I think it's important to point out that it seems like we've become used to it because of this last 8 years, but it's not necessarily the thing.
And I think Dr. Baumia was put there because of his background as an economist.
This is someone who So it made sense to put him there in addition to the finance minister, who's also very well trained in the economic sciences, as they call them.
Right.
So those two in an economic management team made a lot of sense. But I see, because she's not a trained economist in that way, it's very likely the finance minister or whoever will likely be in charge based on her strengths and weaknesses. That's the way I see it.
Right. The point I was actually seeking to make is that, I mean, there are constitutionally defined roles for her.
Exactly.
But what other role will be given to her will be a decision
by the number one,
made by the number one in consultation with whoever needs to be on that table, including herself. But we are hoping that, I mean, she enjoys a more flexible role so that she stays visible and continues to inspire the young girls out there.
We have Mahama's voice.
Not even just the young girls, inspire us. You know that ceilings can be broken.
I like that.
So I do have Mahama's voice, but before then I want to rope in some of the comments we've had from our listeners. The number is 0549-986-996, 0549-986-996, and this one says, "Hi Caleb. Caleb, for me the NPP was rejected by the grassroots. NDC shouldn't be too comfortable because they didn't perform better than 2020. Youngest son at Agbogba sent that through with the hashtag CTCBS. Good morning, Caleb and team. So does it mean Mahama would be the longest serving democratically elected president by the end of his term in December 2018 with 8 years, 6 months? Swala Amasaman. I think that's correct because
it's because he
had some months in.
He took over the reins after the passing of.
But I guess that does that 6 months count? Because he wasn't elected. We didn't elect him.
But he was still president. He was functioning as president.
I mean,
he functioned as president.
Was he sworn in?
But you see, the person
he was sworn in.
Exactly. So once you take the oath, you are president.
Elected.
Yes.
They put the democratically elected.
Oh,
there. That's why I'm
they
wondering.
delete that, but he has
If
served.
he said longest serving president, 100%.
But even longest serving would not be him.
And it will be.
That would be Jerry John Rawlings.
No, but Rawlings was not president. He was head of state.
Rawlings was head of state.
Yeah, I wasn't president.
Transition to president.
Yeah. If you say longest head of state, because president is head of state, it's clear. But the word president, I don't think it applies to.
Okay,
that was Chairman Rawlings, right?
Chairman Rawlings, head of state.
Chairman Rawlings. Yeah. My name is Anam Poffo. Good morning, guys. I just saw a group of people numbering about 30 on bikes. They have just ended the Forestry Commission. I'm not sure why, but it doesn't look good. I think the police should make their way there. Wow. If what Nana Mpofu is saying is anything to go by, that's concerning.
If your leaders have spoken, why would you just listen to them?
They should go there. I don't quite get these young men. If
let's stop this.
Why are they misbehaving?
And I think that the head of the Election Security Task Force also mentioned that they're going to ensure security before, during, and after.
Of course.
So there should be the post-election security.
Post-election security.
Of course.
We expect that police visibility will be present at more of these installations that are easily becoming targets. Now, Jay from La Paz, he loves gossip. He says, I think Paul Adumotro's book came too early. I'm interested in the backstory that led to Baumia conceding defeat at the time he did.
This man.
He says, I'm not sure everyone around him would have been pleased. That's what he said. And then quickly, University of Energy and Natural Resources was the first university in Ghana to have a female vice chancellor and the first female SRC president. Okay, I didn't know this. My joy is with the fact that Mustafa Yusuf doesn't get to the sports ministry any longer.
this guy, I can tell he's been listening to a lot of sports panorama.
Coach Nimli will be happy with him. But let's get into President-elect John Dramani Mahama's speech from yesterday.
A while ago, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, Madame Jean Mensah, declared me the winner of the 2024 presidential election. I give thanks and praise to the Almighty God because this successful outcome can only be the doing of the Lord. I'd like to thank the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, for his statesmanship in conceding the election long before the declaration of the results by the Electoral Commission. This concession largely diffused the tensions that are characteristic of high-stakes elections such as this. I also just received a call from His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He graciously extended his congratulations to me, and we had the opportunity to discuss matters related to the Joint Transitional Team. We agreed on an early inauguration of the Joint Transitional Team as early as Wednesday, the 11th of December. I conveyed my sincerest regards to him and expressed my readiness for us to work together to ensure a smooth transition in the best interest of the Ghanaian people. The results of this election, as declared today by the Electoral Commissioner, show that the National Democratic Congress, with me, John Dramani Mahama, as leader, has just chalked one of the most emphatic victories in the electoral history of the Fourth Republic. We have therefore been bestowed with a very outstanding mandate by the good people of Ghana. I'm deeply honored and humbled to receive such an overwhelming endorsement from the Ghanaian people. And I wish to thank all who made this possible by going out to vote for me. I thank all Ghanaians, both at home and abroad, for your continued belief in our democracy, despite the severe crisis our nation is going through. I also congratulate our parliamentary candidates who have also swept the electoral landscape with a very resounding victory. I have a legion of thanks to give for this emphatic electoral success. And let me begin again by thanking the Almighty God, the creator of heaven and earth, for protecting and preserving us through this whole campaign period. And to paraphrase the psalmist, I also give thanks to God for preparing a table before me. Obviously, you are all very acquainted with this Bible verse. I also give thanks to God for preparing a table before me in the presence of my enemies, and for anointing my head with oil and making my cup run over. I next have to give my thanks to my wife Lodina and my family, my children, my siblings, and all my extended family for standing by me through all these difficult times when victory and success appeared elusive and out of sight. On these gloomy occasions, you have all come through and offered me the encouragement to keep soldiering on. I'd like to thank the Vice President-elect, Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, for being an exemplary and inspirational running mate. Nana, your decency, your humility, and your sense of responsibility added so much to this campaign. The eyes of every young girl and woman, not only in Ghana, but in nations across this continent and the world, are going to be on you from today. And as you said, you have not only opened the door, but you're going to keep the door open for many other women. Your name has become synonymous with breaking boundaries. And like I said, you have opened the door of opportunity for many of our female citizens. Because of you, the people of Ghana can today celebrate the fact that we have made history by electing our first woman as Vice President. I must also thank my very loyal and dedicated staff who have been with me over the last 8 years in opposition for the sacrifice and hard work they have put into this endeavor. To my campaign team members, to our party agents, and the countless volunteers who spent uncountable hours day and night working to secure this victory, I cannot thank you enough. To our Council of Elders, the gallant leadership of the National Democratic Congress, led by Chairman Johnson Asiedu Nketia, our able General Secretary, Fifi Fiavikwete, and our general membership, I'm deeply grateful for your dedication and commitment to this cause and your willingness to give everything to ensure success in this election. To all the religious leaders who prayed for me, and there are too many to mention, at the appropriate time I'll acknowledge them individually. To all the religious leaders who prayed for me, to all the prophets who prophesied my victory, to all the civil society organizations and professional groups we consulted in building our message, to all our traditional leaders who warmly received me in your palaces during the campaign, to all our security personnel across the country, and to the media, to you all I say a big thank you. To Mrs. Jean Mensah and her staff of the Electoral Commission, the IGP and his election security task force, our international observers, and all who have contributed to a very successful election, I convey to you the warmest wishes of a grateful nation. For all its historic undertones, this mandate represents many things for all political actors and those who seek to lead our nation. It shows that the Ghanaian people have little tolerance for bad governance, particularly of the sort witnessed in the last 8 years, and that they are willing to take decisive action at critical moments when it matters most. These 8 years have witnessed some of the darkest periods of our governance. The crisis our beloved country has been through these last several years have left a scar on our national psyche, which may take some time to erase. This mandate also serves as a constant reminder of what fate awaits us if we fail to meet the aspirations of our people and govern with arrogance. My brothers and sisters, there is much to do to salvage our country and reset it. It would have to start with a reset of the relationship between citizens and elected officials. We must never forget that the people of Ghana have chosen us to represent their wishes and their best interest. It is the reason we would be initiating important governance reforms and sometimes initiate severe measures in the next 4 years to reset our nation and bring it back on track as the Black Star of Africa. The journey is not going to be easy, my brothers and sisters, because the outgoing government has plunged our dear nation into an abyss. However, we are determined to work together with you to build the Ghana we want. And I am certain that we shall win the battle. We intend to work together to restore the shattered confidence in our politics and governance system. This election and its outcome represents an opportunity for a new beginning as we can begin to write a new chapter of our collective story. We need to consciously set the tone for the new direction in which we'll be traveling. My brothers and sisters, I want those words, my brothers and sisters, to be a reminder to all of you, a reminder to me, and to every individual who has just been elected or re-elected, that no matter what office you hold, no matter what your political affiliation is or has been in the past, the one thing we share in common is the nation Ghana. And it is that we want a much better Ghana. We want a Ghana that works for everybody and not just a few people. We want a Ghana that considers the well-being of all her citizens and affords them each the ability to live a life of dignity, a life of limitless opportunity. My brothers and sisters, from the Kaya Yo to the managing director, to the market women, the bankers, the teachers, security personnel, nurses, doctors, the pastors, the drivers, the tailors and seamstresses, we are all essential to the functioning and forward motion of this country. We, the people of this soil, sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, are in fact our nation's greatest resource. This country, this land, is not for one person, or for one family, or for one tribe or ethnic group. this country, this beautiful, resilient, and resource-rich country that we so love, Ghana, is for all of us. This is our home, but it is not enough to just be born here and to die here. We must also be able to live here with satisfaction. We must be able to love, to dream, to laugh, to eat and dance and drum and share all aspects of our culture that was handed to us by our ancestors. And to do that, we must create sustainable and well-paying jobs through the 24-hour economy. Our most basic needs must be met. Affordable housing and health care, food and clean water, safe work and fair wages. My brothers and sisters, it is with tremendous humility that I accept this clear mandate that you, the good people of Ghana, have given me to lead this great nation as your next president. Every vote that was cast in this election carried the same weight. Every vote also carried a hope in the future of our country. I promise you that I will assemble and lead a government that will carry the weight of those hopes and dreams, whether you voted for me or not, because every victory is a victory for the people, all of the people. Each time we have free and fair elections and then conduct a smooth transfer of power, it reaffirms that our history of leadership and trailblazing was not an aberration. It is not by accident that we were the first nation in Black Africa to win our independence from colonial rule. It is not by accident that the first black person to serve as UN Secretary General, the late Kofi Annan, was a Ghanaian. It is not by accident that so many Ghanaians out there in the world are blazing new trails and being recognized as leaders in their industry. Despite being a relatively small nation, Ghana has been and will continue to be a mighty force on the world stage. We're a proud people and have every reason to be. When Ghana rises, we all stand tall with her, and Africa rises with us too. Last but certainly not the least, I'd like to thank you, the good people of Ghana, for this opportunity once more. I know that many of you are feeling frustrated and angry, but I ask you today, please do not give in to negativity and pessimism. There have been reports of acts of vandalism at some government facilities and installations. I urge you not to vent your frustration in criminal enterprise. We must channel our anger and frustration into the positive enterprise of resetting and rebuilding our nation. Let us be brief in our celebration, for the weight of office will be an onerous one. Expectations of Ghanaians are very high, and we cannot afford to fail them. Let us maintain and even magnify this joy and positivity that we feel. We have arrived at this moment because so many of you believed that change was possible. And now we know that not only is change possible, but it is also already in process. Let us continue to believe that we are already moving towards the Ghana we want, the Ghana of our hopes and dreams. And in this Ghana where we have turned a new chapter and are setting a new tone, our best days are not behind us. My brothers and sisters, our best days are ahead of us. Forward ever, backwards never. May God bless you.
So you heard former President-elect, yes, former President and President-elect John Dramani Mahama. You know, it gets interesting.
It would take a getting used to.
Because, you know, prior to 2016, we had done John Mahama as president for such a long time.
Yeah.
And President Akufo-Addo won. And now you're going to say what?
Former President Mahama.
Yes, but even with Nana Akufo-Addo, the name was like, are you going to be saying in the news, President of the Republic, Nana Akufo-Addo?
You know, President of the Republic, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo.
Oh my God. It has been opposition leader for so long a time, and things just switch. Charlie, may our names change, you know. May our positions change.
Amen.
May titles change.
Amen.
May the money that comes to take us.
Amen.
Later, you prefer that one.
Yeah, it's about the bag, man.
It's all about the bag.
If it didn't prefer that one, we'll hear sing Kamimumu.
Why do you think? Why do you think I stayed up late night to write the song Momo?
Momo.
Why do you think? Really? I stayed up on a Saturday night to write that song.
What situation were you in?
Strangely enough, I was in a very good mood actually.
You were happy.
I actually wrote the song the night of Freeman's 40th birthday party. Oh, wow. You remember that night?
Yeah.
Was it Labadi?
One of the last.
One of the places.
Yes.
So I was feeling very creative on my way back. Got home and in about an hour and one and a half,
finished it.
I wrote the song Momo and recorded it like later that week.
No, you're a legend, man. Lots and lots of your messages are in. We'll be sharing them with you shortly. That was John Mahama's speech, President-elect. Let us hear your comment. Does all that has happened give you some hope in Ghana? Is there any word you have for the people who are going to form the next government? And maybe some final goodbye messages for those who have been in government. I'm happy to read all of that for you in the meantime. And yes, we have the Transition Act here with us. We'll be going through that. Susu Graham has that. We'll be going through the details of the Transition Act.
Just as an aside, Nana Tufo has released a picture of that night.
That
So here's
yeah.
Nana Tufo and myself. So this was when I actually wrote Momo. I got home late that night and wrote Momo. So
it was 24th October 2021.
Very good.
No receipts are out already.
Oh yeah, we keep receipts.
So for anybody who ever listens to Momo, remember I wrote that song on October 24, 2021.
Frema, you have to be doing more parties. You
understand? So
understand?
the more inspiration will drop.
You understand?
Maybe so. Yes, moms, just finally here the news we've been waiting for. Your favorite Cerelac now comes in a new variant with a combined goodness of wheat and maize grains fortified with iron, vitamins, and minerals. Guess what? This new Cerelac wheat and maize comes at an affordable price of only 2 Ghana cedis per sachet. To prepare this new Cerelac wheat and milk, just add milk. In fact, Cerelac way now here milk. Cerelac, care for them, count on us. This is an advert that's FDA approved. Snack time just got a whole lot better with Munchie Milk Shortcake. With its unique blend of milky richness and carefully selected ingredients, Munchie Milk Shortcake is crafted to delight your taste buds. If you're looking for pure satisfaction and authentic taste of original milky richness, grab a pack of CBL Munchie Milk Shortcake, Ghana's favorite biscuit brand, and indulge in milky goodness today. If you're looking for reliable, uninterrupted electricity supply, Deep Solar Ghana has you covered. For only 58,000 Ghana cedis, you can go fully solar. Enjoy independence from the grid. No more lights off or power fluctuations, just peace of mind and savings. Call us now, 059-549-4113. Visit deepsolarghana.com to learn more. Remember, your energy independence begins when you call Deep Solar. We'll come to the transition act shortly. Nathan has some important announcement for you as well. Nathan.
Yes, sir. If you are ready to boost your viewing experience, then Showmax is your best bet. They have the latest blockbusters, great series, local and international kids shows, and the Premier League. They have it all. Go to showmax.com, follow the prompts, pay with MTN, Momo, Visa, or MasterCard, and you are good to go. So go ahead, add a little more to your viewing experience. Showmax streaming for Ghana. It is the season to spread love and joy to the ones who matter most. Omni Basic Bank's fast, reliable, and stress-free remittance service makes receiving money from family, friends, or business partners abroad easier than ever. Whatever it is, MoneyGram, Ria, Western Union, Transfers, World Remit, or Unity Link, you can access your funds instantly at any of their branches nationwide. Call 0800 100 790 or 0307 086 000 to find out more. Omni Basic Bank at your service. Royal Kingdom Estate is here. Go to their office at Cantonments opposite Soul Clinic International School to talk land and property matters. They specialize in land acquisition, construction, design, property management, and so much more. Call them on 0557 555 909 or send them an email, info@Royal Kingdom Estate. Royal Kingdom Estate, building communities, nurturing dreams. And if you want a British degree at a fraction of the cost, and you want a vibrant student experience, and you want to be taught by the finest faculty trained to UK standards, then Lancaster University Ghana is that place for you. Send them an email, admissions at lancaster.edu.gh, or call them on 0209 607 0082. Find out what they have for you. Lancaster University Ghana is the only British uni campus in West Africa.
Things no they be, Charlie life no they go. Me I need Momo, See Charlie mommy Momo, see Charlie mommy cash. Life no they go, things no they be. Charlie I need cash, I need Momo. I need Momo, I need Momo. Things no they be, life no they go. It be top I know they see, cause me I don't know. When see Charlie mommy Momo, Mommy Momo, Mommy Momo, give me Momo. Or make I just give up, cause life makes slow. And Charlie give me formula, the boys stick blow. But for now, Mommy Momo, Mommy Momo, Mommy Momo, give me Momo. I wake up in the morning, Charlie, nothing in my pocket. No food for your boy, how I go feed.
Now that's the song.
No be easy,
Mommy Momo.
Charlie, you for suffer and then
inspired by Freme's 40th birthday. So, are you inspired by recent events to do something
to do more music? Yeah. I mean, of course, all kinds of things have happened. So when I get into that creative space,
it is possible.
This is all the things. It's common language, but when it's used as a slogan or something, then now saying it becomes so difficult.
Please, we beg after this period, allow us to use it.
It is possible. So,
what does it mean?
I don't know.
What does it mean? That one will it ever come back into normal language?
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
That's where it's coming from.
Can someone inform us what it means?
Very important.
I'm sure there's someone out there listening who knows the history behind it. So please send us a message.
Messages have come. We'll be reading some. We have the Transition Act. We'll be taking you through that. But I have a message for Susu Graham. Good morning. Please say hi to Susu. I wish to meet him one of these days. He was born the same day, same time, same labor ward, and slept in the same ward with my daughter.
Hey!
Setuchi. He speaks like his dad. And they give me your date of birth and the time you were born to.
Let me see.
I don't. You think I'm kidding?
No, I want to see the date of birth. I want to see the date of birth.
You need to confirm.
Should I mention?
I don't want my information out there.
Do not mention it.
You know you use those things for two-factor authentication.
Let me just forward it to you. Woo! Yeah, so much detail, man. Yeah, so someone to say hello to you, Susu. That's the message, yeah. But in the meantime, guys, permit me to say special good morning
the person was in the word.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
special.
Such info there, you can only be there to know.
It's only because of my two-factor authentication. That's why I don't want
that's
to
fine. It's a special good morning to listen to the name of this doctor. His name is Deliverance Ejabing. And he's a squadron leader of the Ghana Armed Forces. Dr. Deliverance Ejabing. You're a big man. No, people say I should tell you, you are large and in charge.
Thank you.
Now they love you. You're a big man. And they say it's a proper. Oh, you're Doctor Papa. Yeah. So that's for squadron.
So
leader.
Doc has been delivering.
He's living his name actually.
Very well.
Yeah. So he's been doing that.
Hey, that what happened to Wisdom, who has been writing off deck?
I'm not sure about that.
Your boy, how I go fi move rockets? It no be easy for the GH. Challenge you for Safa and the MP getting V8. I take my paycheck and it be taxes in Kwan. Politicians like Ole, our tactics in one. The speeches and the long talk, Charlie, they be too much. But we know they see things and they know they do much. It be one this, one that, one plan or another, one presser in an interview. We know they help a brother. Go the market, see the.
Shout outs to Mrs. Juliet Sanaya, always doing the listening, and Ashali Botre. Good morning to you, madam. Thank you for always joining us.
Make the boys sort me out, make the boys come through.
Messages are in. Nathan, want to help us with some of these?
Yes, Raymond from Spintex has sent us a message, and he says the people of Ghana voted for change because of Akufo-Addo and Bawumia's mismanagement. The president-elect John Mahama should make sure that he governs well, and if he repeats Nana Addo's behavior, will vote the NDC out of power come 2028.
Simple.
Brilliant. And that's it. And that's a reminder. I like that. Good morning, Caleb. I guess we voted for the NDC to come back and make things right. I hope they do so. Congrats to President-elect John Mahama. And he made the right decision by choosing Madam Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman as his vice. Thanks to him for giving women a voice. The business scientist from UOG says the youth of the NDC should restrain themselves from trying to take over public institutions with force. The law is still active and elections are over. It is true. The law must work. So please, the law enforcement agencies, just be on the lookout and stop people from misbehaving.
Absolutely.
Stop people from misbehaving.
Absolutely.
Those are some of the messages that have come. This one says, this morning, a profound sense of relief washed over me. Akufo-Addo's presidency will end soon. The next year holds the promise of a new leader. This is a weight lifted from my shoulders. No longer will I dread waking to the news of a president deaf to his people's pleas. The harsh treatment of citizens protesting for basic necessities like clean water, the imprisonment, the suppression will be a thing of the past. Under Mahama's leadership, I anticipate a renewed freedom of speech, or a renewed sense of freedom of speech and a right to peaceful demonstration. The future feels brighter, marked by hope and the restoration of fundamental rights. Martin Sedem Ayimensa. This one says, where at all is Dennis Miracles Abuaji? Where has he disappeared to? Ajua from Ashalibu.
Performing miracles.
Allow the gentleman to breathe. He's had a long campaign period, and so allow.
Mr. Kwame. Things no they be. Charlie life no they go. Me I need momo. Me I need momo. See Charlie mommy momo. See Charlie mommy cash. Life no they go. Things no they be. Charlie I need cash. I need momo. I need momo. I need momo. Things no they be. Life no they go. It be top I know they see. Cause me I don't know. When see Charlie mommy momo. Mommy momo. Mommy momo. Give me momo. Or make I just give up. Cause life makes slow. And Charlie give me formula. The boys stick blow. But for now, mommy momo.
And if you're ready to boost your viewing experience, Showmax is your best bet. The latest blockbuster movies, popular international and local series, kids shows and Premier League, Showmax has it all and more. And with many payment options, signing up is as easy as ABC. Just visit www.showmax.com to follow the prompts and pay with MT and Momo Visa or your MasterCard and you're good to go. Stream all your favorite content from the comfort of your home or on the go. And for the binge watchers, Showmax has got you. Go ahead, add a little more to your viewing experience. Showmax streaming for Ghana.
Sort me out, make the boys come through, cause the game brought me things no they be. Life no they go, it be top I know they see, cause me I don't know. When see Charlie, mommy momo, mommy momo, mommy momo, give me momo, or make I just give up, cause life makes slow, and Charlie give me formula.
Now the president-elect has indicated that the president has invited him to the Jubilee House. That's tomorrow, Wednesday, December 11, so that transition processes can kick-start. What is the Transition Act saying about these processes? What are we to expect? What's the team supposed to be made of? Are there timelines?
So the Transition Act even specifies the order of which people are appointed.
Wow.
So the first people that will be appointed naturally are the president and the vice president and other people holding office under the Presidential Office Act.
It even gives timelines.
Yes. The next are the ministers and deputy ministers of state and the regional ministers and deputy regional ministers.
Will those be representatives or should he have appointed them by
I think it's more so that he has to have. That's what we'll see the vetting about. It's more like the list has to be ready so that to come out. Then the special assistant, special aides to the president and vice president, all those type of things. Then it goes to the foreign affairs, so the non-career ambassadors and high commissioners. Then persons appointed by the president or a minister of state as members of statutory boards and corporations. So those are the last. So that's the order it has to be. Now when it comes to the specific transition, that's the order of how he's going to kind of appoint
make
people.
the appointments.
Exactly. The transition team though is very specific. So the transition team, they said according to the act, within 24 hours after the declaration of results, the president has to appoint a head of presidential staff, an attorney general, ministers responsible for presidential affairs, finance, interior, defense, foreign affairs, local government, and national security. So those have to be appointed. We need to see names within 24 hours according to this act. Now, there's also a lot of things about the function of the transition team. So they need to make comprehensive and practical arrangements to regulate the transfer of political power, ensure the provision of daily national security briefings for the person elected as president during the period before the assumption of office by the person elected as president, and ensure the salaries, allowances, facilities, privileges, and retiring benefits or awards as determined by the president and parliament are given to those people who are eligible for them, and undertake any function which will enable them to meet this act. So what we are understanding from this, just to summarize, is that the transition, he needs to have people who are in charge of key areas, and the transition team needs to make sure that he's in the loop. So it will seem from this, it's almost like every information the president is getting, the president-elect will also be getting, just so he's aware and he doesn't come in blind. Yes.
And a lot of this is supposed to start within 48 hours.
Well, the act says 24 hours.
24 hours, a bit earlier, but if you look at the meetings of the team, it says for the purpose of this act, the team shall first meet not later than 48 hours after the declaration of the results of the presidential election in accordance with Article 63 of the Constitution. The co-chairperson shall convene any other meetings of the team. Co-chairpersons shall preside at the meetings of the team, and in the absence of the co-chairpersons, the two persons to whom functions are delegated under subsection 2 of the section 1 shall preside. Basically, just a time no day.
The
The earlier you do it, the better.
Yeah, so everything is spelled out in the transition.
And there's a lot of interesting things. Like there's supposed to be an advisory council, which is the Speaker of Parliament, an eminent citizen appointed by the incumbent and the president-elect.
Okay.
So I'm wondering, when someone wins re-election, do they appoint two different people in two different capacities, or we need maybe some legal minds to help us with that? But it looks like it to be a 3-person advisory council that will kind of sit over the transition team. And they also mentioned the handing over notes. So when you go on leave, the handing over notes you do. The president will have
we
to
do it here. So
exactly.
you expect that at that level.
Exactly. The president also has to do his handing over notes. So it's very interesting. All of this is kind of set out. And they said the availability of the handing over notes. This is interesting. So the Administrator General shall make available to the person elected as president the original copies, and there should be 5 other copies sent to Parliament, the Chief Justice, the Council of State, and the Public Records and Archives Administrating Department. So it looks like these handing over notes should be, are kept for posterity and that kind of stuff.
Right, and I just need to put out there that the Presidential Transitions Act is very, very key, very important, because you see, we have had a history of military coup d'etats, and so we did not have a proper experience of a transition from one democratically elected president to another until about 2001. You get it? So that was the proper period where we had a proper transition. From one democratically elected president to the other. This will be Jerry John Rawlings and John Agyekum Kufuor. But even after that, it wasn't up until 2013 that a transition was properly so regulated by legal blueprint.
Right.
Because the Transitions Act is of when?
2012.
Exactly.
2012.
You get it. So it was that post 2012 election, that transition into 2013 for the administration of JDM. That's when the act
because
was properly
he was not the president. He definitely would have wanted to change stuff, even though it was the same party. He definitely would have wanted to change some things. Might have had some rivals. You know how these things are. Definitely would want to change things up. So it's very good that was created, because I believe maybe we had seen some issues from president to president. It was good that this was codified.
Because it goes such granular detail to tell you even inventory of assets and handover of presidential. Let me just bring you point 8, right? It says Presidential Estates Unit. There is established by this act a Presidential Estates Unit, the functions of which are: 1, to take and keep an inventory of the assets and properties of the government, which are assets and properties not vested in the Lands Commission established under Article 258 of the Constitution, to ensure that the assets and properties of the government are maintained in good condition and tenable repair, and ensure that where relevant, the assets and properties of the government are transferred in good condition and tenable repair. Tenable. That's what I see here. Okay. I've not seen this one before. Now, the Presidential Estate Unit shall be under an Administrator General.
It's tenantable. So I guess so that the person can live in it.
It's usable.
Yeah.
Tenantable. Oh Christ, forgive.
So I'm sure your English teacher is upset listening.
No, you will understand. Tenantable. Okay, so the Administrator General shall have the same terms and conditions of service as a Justice of the Court of Appeal. The Administrator General shall make recommendations to the President in consonance with Article 179 of the Constitution for budgetary allocations for the purpose of the transfer of the reins of government from one administration to the next administration. Now, the Presidential Estates Unit is responsible for the procurement of any assets or properties of government which are assets and properties not vested in the Lands Commission. It goes on and on to say that the Administrator General shall then prepare a national register covering
this
all
is a new
public
part
lands.
About inventory of assets.
Inventory of assets. That's what I mean. So for those who are following us, inventory of assets, who are reading their documents,
stock taking and inventory of executive assets. This allows for accountability.
Yes. It even goes to the point of vacation of official residence. It says the incumbent president, this is point 10, the incumbent president and the incumbent vice president shall vacate the official residences before the day of the swearing in of the person elected as president, and if either of them so desires, move into an alternative official residence. Any other person who ceases to hold office on the assumption of office of the person elected as president and is in occupation of an official residence shall vacate the residence within 3 months after the assumption of office. Then goes on to tell us about the election of the Speaker of Parliament, goes on and on, deputies and all that. Wow, Charlie, power is transient too.
So I mean,
and just for the final one, point 12.
Yeah.
The administration by the Chief Justice of the oath of office to the person elected as president shall take place on 7th January. So this 7th January is by law.
It's by law.
There's no going around. There's no dancing around it. So the only reason it might not happen is an act of God. That's basically what they are telling us. That if it's by law, 7th January, swearing in should happen.
Interesting one there.
There are a few highlights in the act that will catch your attention because the act is also structured in a way that it will provide institutional clarity, and that's where you have the Administrator General. The Administrator General is actually heading a new body that is established by law. Now, this body will be known as the Presidential Estates Unit, PEU, and it is charged with maintaining and keeping the inventory of executive assets. The unit is headed by an Administrator General who is granted the same terms and conditions of service as a Justice of the Court of Appeal. Now, this enshrines in the statute the independence and security of tenure for the Administrator General. Broadly, the Administrator General has the role of facilitating the transition process. Now, the Act also provides for a structured time frame. And so it will specify a structured time frame for the transition team to be formed within 24 hours after the declaration of the presidential election results. Clear timelines are also set for outgoing ministers to vacate their official accommodation within 3 months after the presidential inauguration. And then finally, the law attempts to improve the timing of presidential inaugurations. Prior to the law, Parliament has been sworn in on the same day as the president, with only short intervals separating the two events. And imagine this last Parliament if the swearing were to have happened on the same day. And so,
what was the date for that in the end? What day did they do that? I only remember.
I think the swearing in for Parliament was on the 6th.
Okay, so I remember they had their dawn meeting, and
so imagine if they were to do both on the same day, and the chaos that's mad. The swearing in of the 8th Parliament. You get it. I mean, so it's good. This law is quite important. I mean, it helps to address challenges post the law, challenges related to the transition.
Of course, we've seen in years past all kinds of things that have happened in the transition. There's not clarity, and people just show up. They want to take possession of state, property and all of that. So I'm happy that it's codified, right? And it will guide the work of the transition. The president will meet the president-elect on Wednesday, and I think that kickstarts the entire process that will eventually culminate or eventually come to an end on the 6th or the 7th of January, depending on how you want to look at that. So I'm happy. The law looks at very interesting things. I'm very concerned about
it's quite comprehensive. And you see, it will help deal with the litany of lapses regarding protocol, delays, logistics, all of that ahead of the swearing in. And so, I mean, if you take the law and you break it down and you go through it, you understand the thinking of the framers and why it is important that we have this, because the challenges that have characterized transitions over the period really were not the best. I mean, you go through a proper voting process, you uphold your democracy, and then the transition is bazaar.
That can be problematic, right? So, and I'm sure that also deals with the estates. In very recent history, you see that when there is change of power, then the vehicles that people have used, people almost want to, and all that. So
So now I think what it does is that, so Susu, and on that question you asked about the day that the swearing was done, I think that the election of the speaker and then the swearing in of MPs will be done 2 days
Yeah, I believe it's mentioned here.
And it's all captured in there. So you see, it allows for ample time, enough room to deal with all the lapses regarding protocol.
Yes, so it says 2 days before the dissolution of Parliament, the clerk to Parliament shall summon a meeting of the elected members of Parliament to elect the Speaker, elect the Deputy Speakers, and take the oaths of office as members of Parliament. The Speaker shall, before the swearing in of Parliament, take and subscribe the oaths pertaining to the office of Speaker. And then it goes on to talk about a little bit more about the things that need to be done. But basically, it's 2 days before.
Prior.
2 days before this dissolution.
So for the 8th Parliament, the process began on the 5th, but we saw how it went, and so we traveled into the dawn of the 6th. Yeah.
Interesting times. We'll take a very quick break. When we are back, there is more for you.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
The voters of Ghana have spoken. They have expressed their choice at the polls, and that choice will today be upheld by the Electoral Commission of Ghana. As a commission, we have fulfilled our vowed aspiration to imbibe transparency, accountability, inclusiveness, and responsiveness at the heart of all our operations. And I can confidently say that with the help of God, we have fulfilled these aspirations and the expectations of the citizenry. We have conducted elections that are credible, fair, transparent, and peaceful. Elections that have ensured that the will of the people as expressed at the polls, the elections that have guaranteed that every vote counts. As a country, we take pride in the fact that our electoral processes, initiated since 1992, uphold and guarantee the voter's choice. We take pride in the fact that the voter's choice, as expressed at the polls, is sacrosanct. Ladies and gentlemen, the last 4 years have been spent in injecting and infusing 4 key elements into every aspect of our work. And those elements are transparency, accountability, responsiveness, and inclusiveness. As such, we started the year poised and ready to conduct credible elections. We were conscious that elections were an event and not a process. This resolve led us to undertake several transformational decisions, including the re-exhibiting of the Provisional Voters Register for the first time in our history, when concerns were raised about its credibility, as well as opening up the IPAC meetings to the citizenry by allowing the live coverage of all IPAC meetings. Indeed, the decisions to re-exhibit the Provisional Voters Register to allow a further review by political parties and the citizenry, as well as the demystification of the IPAC meeting, has helped diffuse the tensions that were brewing around the Provisional Voters Register. Ultimately, those 2 decisions restored the confidence of the citizens in the Voters Register and cemented Ghana's peace. Again, in the spirit of responsiveness, when complaints were made about the 50 pesos charged voters for the verification of their registration details online, the Commission waived the fee and allowed voters to verify their details at no cost. In line with our determination to ensure the credibility of the 2024 election, when the Commission received information of the leak of a single defaced ballot paper, the Commission acted swiftly and destroyed ballots for both Western and Eastern regions. This bold determination and this bold decision was based on our determination to uphold the integrity of the election at all costs. In less than 1 week, the Commission printed new ballot papers for both regions and went on to successfully hold the special voting 2 days ahead of the main election. As a Commission, our singular message to our teams at all levels has been clear. It is that our mandate is not to make anyone a president or a member of parliament, but rather to conduct and undertake credible and transparent elections and electoral processes which uphold the voters' choice and lead to acceptable and peaceful electoral outcomes. Today, our resolve has paid off. We have conducted elections that are fair, elections that are free, elections that are credible, elections that are elections that are peaceful, and elections whose outcomes are acceptable by all. So transparent are our processes that any interested political party, media house, or citizen could collate with near precision the results of the election, attesting to the resilient and robust processes built over the years. And we witnessed this with the concession of the Vice President even before the declaration of the results by the Electoral Commission. Ladies and gentlemen, the testimonies on Election Day also attest to the efficient, robust, and resilient processes we put in place. Many citizens testified to the seamless processes they witnessed at the polling stations. The average time spent at the polling station was around 5 minutes compared to several hours and several minutes prior to the 2020 election. Citizens also attested to the efficiency of the biometric voter devices, the biometric verification devices employed to ensure that every man has one vote. The system worked efficiently and ensured that the voter who registered was indeed the person who voted. We are confident that the 2024 election will further cement trust in our electoral processes and reduce the suspicions that typically characterize elections on the continent. At this juncture, I would like to thank all of you who journeyed with us to ensure the success of the 2024 election. To our staff, both permanent and temporary, we say, Ayiko, you have worked hard, put in long hours, plowed the field, and done the spade work at the risk of your own lives to bring us a successful outcome. Our hearts go out to our staff who were manhandled during this time. We wish you well, and we ask the good Lord to bless all of you. To our media partners who have journeyed with us and enabled us to bring the commission to the doorstep of every Ghanaian, we say thank you. To the Ghana Police Service and to our partner, the National Peace Council, we say Ayiko. We thank all of you, the good citizens of Ghana, who have believed in us and allowed us to serve you. To our dear families and friends who have journeyed with us every step of the way, we thank you for your support, your prayers, your encouragement, and your advice. We are conscious that we could not have achieved this success without the help of the Almighty God, our anchor, without whom we could have done nothing. We remain eternally grateful, and I say thank you, Jesus. To all our observers from the ECOWAS, from the African Union, from the ECONEC, from the Commonwealth Secretariat, from the West Africa Elders Forum, supported by the Good Luck Jonathan Foundation, from the National Peace Council, from CODEO, from the Association of African Election Authorities, from the European Center for Election Systems, from International IDEA, Frimpong Manso Institute, IDEG, and to electoral commissioners from election management bodies in Africa, namely Uganda, Gambia, Kenya, Liberia. We say thank you for your support. We wish you all Godspeed back home. As the returning officer for the presidential election and in fulfillment of my mandate as enshrined in law, I will now declare the outcome of the 2024 election. It is important to note that per Regulation 63.3 of the 1992 Constitution of Ghana, the winner of the presidential election must obtain at least 50% plus 1 at the polls to be declared the winner of the election. We have collated the presidential results from all 16 administrative regions, of which 267 of the 276 constituencies have been captured. We have not been able to receive results from 9 constituencies because our offices have been besieged by political party supporters, making it impossible to complete the collation process. That notwithstanding, the presidential results from the 267 constituencies, including the newly created Guan constituency, clearly established the winner of the 2024 presidential election. Simply put,
where are they taking them to?
Must be situation.
Of course.
Situation 2024.
Exactly.
Underbridge.
Yes. It's Legon.
December 24.
Yes. 2024.
We are taking the guests
away to the underbridge at East Legon.
What is the promise?
For the all white.
It's an
all white situation.
Hey,
all
white.
It
looks like
party.
you guys are already ready.
Yeah,
I didn't get the memo. I should go and wear white this morning.
You missed that.
Don't worry. Now that you know.
Party is happening.
Now that you know, get in line. So it's happening on the 24th of December. Gates open at exactly 8 p.m. And you know, as when we say 8 p.m., it's 8 p.m. You understand? It's the situation all white party.
Yes.
This is the party to end all Christmas parties.
All the campaign wahala, all the stress, all the frustration
tired
from
this year.
January to now. Charlie, come and let your hair down.
Oh, from the economy to the steer to whatever. Charlie, just come and enjoy. Come dance the stress away. That's what we are asking you to do. I see we have wonderful packages for our patrons. You understand? So, situation basically what we do is to sell tables, right? And so we have the platinum table.
Right.
The platinum table seats 8 persons.
8 persons.
So it's the 8 seats per table, right? And on that platinum table, which is actually the numero uno, the VVIP for the night. You understand? So on that table,
where the ballers bamba.
You understand? The big boys. You understand?
The Agba ballers.
Thank you.
Those who come and say how much is money. Balling.
Hey, premium or nothing. Bring. So that you see that they'll put some a low light be on the bottle and it will be coming.
There's no low light.
But you see, situation will give you proper lights. Proper humans will be serving or attending to your tables. You understand? So when the bottle is coming like that, then you hear the hype man in the back. Who they buy bottle tonight? Who they call for bottle tonight? Who will your God the top way they spend money like that? You understand?
Listen, I can't relate. I don't know.
Oh, don't worry. One day when you miss church service in the evening, we'll pass somewhere and then you get to experience it.
Every Friday night you come by.
We all can't be the same.
You have to take me out one of these days.
I will. It will be an absolute pleasure.
Oh, yes, I will come back home.
Now, as for home, you will go back.
But how
whether you continue with your evening service or your night service, I'm not sure.
Charlie, what's happening on the platinum table?
A lot of goodies for our wonderful people, but I don't want to spill it all. I'm going to drop a number that you can call
When you call, there are some fine individuals that will attend to you. They will receive you properly, run you through various offerings per table, and then you. I mean, if you are not convinced after that phone call, then I don't know. You understand? Maybe you become an evangelist like someone we heard quoting kings and. Yes, okay, let's continue. Yeah. If you know, you know.
I don't know that one. I don't know that.
So we have the platinum table, we have the gold table, we have the diamond table as well.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
The platinum table, there's the diamond table, there's the gold table.
Yes, sir.
And they all come with unique offerings.
Thank you.
All for your enjoyment on the night of the 24th of December.
Yes,
please call this number 0205 973 973 0205 973 973, and our amazing host and hostesses will attend to you. They'll run you through the various offerings per table, the cost per table, and of course any other inquiry that you have, you can make it via the same number 0205 973 973. Situation All White Party happening on the 24th of December 2024 at the Underbridge at East Legon here in Accra. It promises to be a blast.
Hey, right now you're doing an LP.
I'm situating.
If you know, you know. But if you don't know, now you know. Now you know. An amazing human being. Her name is Angela Dake.
Oh, so that's Angela's birthday.
Oh yeah.
Sunflower yellow. Yellow.
Oh yeah. Charlie is such a hardworking individual.
Yeah.
Very dedicated and committed. So happy birthday to you. I'm sure Tufo will do the right, he will do the needful.
Yeah. Same number, same account. Don't worry. When you're the people, Caleb sent me.
How much is money? It's nothing.
Loads of your messages are in. The president-elect's speech was impressive, reconciliatory and warm. If it is anything to go by, then we have better days ahead. What our country needs now is unity and hard work. I'm not particularly fond of the NDC, but they have the best opportunity to pull us all together so we can succeed together. Congratulations to them and John Dramani Mahama, Jonathan Agbesi Botre from Kasua Sender through. Elimat from Ashaman says the speech of the president-elect flowed out of the heart of humility, honesty and sincerity. His voice echoes a beacon of hope and a bright future ahead, which is realistic since his good motive and intent can clearly be felt. May God help him to lead Ghana and propel us to greater heights. Shalom, Caleb and team. For me, I believe the media should keep the incoming administration on their toes on these three main issues: government expenditure control and accountability, mounting sustained pressure on a non-negotiable Stop Galamsey mining campaign, a sustained reminder to the incoming administration to return to reviewing the constitution in the long term. A lot of inefficiencies and corruption will be automatically sieved out. Good morning from brother Ain Tema. Hey, who is sending a message saying good morning, CK? This person.
Your CK is Caleb Kuda.
Yeah, no, but it means that the person is, he knows too much for comfort.
You understand?
It says Eyezu Eyeza was propagated by the late J.J. Rawlings during the 1992 elections. It simply implies that vote for the presidential candidate Zu and MP Za same party. This contributed to J.J. Rawlings' massive win in 1992 and 1996. Emmanuel Douna Okra sent that through. Okay. I got an earlier message that suggested that the late Amabenuado coined this as well during the Rawlings era. I mean, everything is pointing to the Rawlings era, so...
But it's weird because I don't remember hearing it much in the 2000s.
But Rawlings era, where were you?
No, but I'm saying the 2000s, you hear these campaign slogans. They didn't use it as much.
Well, they did. It wasn't, it was there. I remember.
I think after the Rawlings period, new slogans had come up.
Right.
But it's
never really died out.
It means that right now it becomes their main one. It looks like,
well, it looks like all the slogans Rawlings brought up are still there. They are not dying out.
But I mean, it maybe went to second or third. That's what I mean. Now it's come back to number one. That's why I'm saying.
Yeah. Meow meow.
Okay. This one says, please, why is the NDC National Executive not fighting for the Nsawam Edredri MP elect as they are doing in Accra and Tema? Till now, we've not known the outcome of the polls. The AJ from Mampong sent that through. Good morning, City. My name is Kwejo from Spintex. Please tell Nanado, Baumia, and the MPP that if they think they are the big tree, we Ghanaians are the small axe. Sharpened to cut them down. You see what I'm saying? And so we are roll. Please kindly play Small Axe by Bob Marley for all Ghanaians for our victory.
Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
If you know, you know. But if you don't know, now you know. Now you know. Now you know. If you know, you know. The big ballers in town. Now you know. Now you know. Forget what I know them, yes. How much is money? It's nothing. Balling. Premium or nothing. Now you know. Now you know. Now you know. Now you know. Forget what I know them, yes.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is City 97.3.
And guess who has joined us now? How are you?
How are you? Good morning. I'm fine, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
How has your neighborhood been? You know, my place, they make a lot of noise. Yesterday there was so much traffic.
Yeah.
They blocked the road. They had the flag, they were singing there, so they were sitting on my bonnet. And they were doing soloku on my car. While I was trying to drive,
you were also honking because
and I was very tired. You know me saying,
yes.
Okay, I was tired.
You join.
True. Hey guys, get off my way. Let me go.
I'm in Lejo Kuku, so
it's more.
No, I mean NDC one day. So
very
overwhelming. So they are having a good
boisterous,
time. They are enjoying life. Sunday like this, the whole afternoon you are hearing ping. And you don't even hear cars usually, but you hear ping.
When the fuel prices change shortly,
they've changed already.
It's going up or down.
Yeah. The first price
have you not bought fuel this month?
Wait. Are you getting coupons from somewhere that we don't know?
I was just getting ready to go buy fuel.
But the 10th of the month, you know bought fuel.
The man is getting coupons from somewhere.
10th of the month.
You will bill after the show.
I bought the fuel before they increased that. So
you filled your tank and it's been 10 days.
before. Good night.
What car do you drive?
Good night.
No, I think the election period helped. We were here for
what?
3 days.
Yes. So we literally slept here.
Granted.
These people. Go and sit down. And that was your show for today. Thank you so much for doing the listening. Hawa Idrisu Mustafa joins us. When she is done, School Madam will take over on branch in the city. My name is Caleb Kuda. Thank you so much for doing the listening. Now it's time for the news at 10. Good morning, Hawa.
Good morning, Caleb. Coming up, President-elect